feelings. It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed. Oh yeah, I let you deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Friday Night Guys, a Radical Truth to Power special. I'm your host, Marlon Clyburn, along with Theus Robinson. And today's show is just going to be a mixed bag of a lot of things. Because we have some people that may be coming on tomorrow, some people that may be coming on Sunday. So I wanted to make sure that I got a whole bunch of potluck topics to discuss with Theus if I may or may not have him Sunday. So we're going to go through a mixed bag of a lot of things. None of them is formatted, so to speak. Just randomly just talking, shooting the breeze and everything else. Before I even get started, please do not forget to hit that like button, letting everybody know that we are live right now. Please, if this is your type of content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I truly appreciate it. My man Theus, how's everything going?
Good, man. Good. How about you?
Pretty good week. No complaints, really. I mean, it was a short week anyway, but
Oh, you had time off or something?
I didn't go in Monday.
Oh, that's right.
but I did start Tuesday, and we got off early today. So
Yeah, we got off early today, and I ended up working late. So yeah, like the office closed at like 2, and I was still there at almost 6. So it is what it is, and I still didn't get everything done. So you know, we'll see what my weekend looks like before I go back on Tuesday.
wow. Well, don't feel too bad. I was still getting emails long, long after I left. So we still had people who didn't even know we closed at 3. As I was saying earlier, don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, Anna. And how
Hey
are you
Anna,
doing tonight? However, I have to admit,
hey
hello, Tracy.
Tracy.
Tracy was first in today. Got to make sure everybody knows that. Mickey, just in time. Thank you, Marlon, for being a good elder sitter. You're welcome. Kevin, what's going on, Kev?
What's good, Kevin?
What's going on, man? How you doing today? So, without further ado, as everybody else is holding their little conversation in the chats, let's get this party started. So I'm gonna start off with this video because I don't know how long Anna and Tracy is gonna be in the audience. But I told everybody, do y'all remember the guy who he was running for state treasurer? I think it was. I mean, everybody was blowing up. He was running for president and everything. He was running for state treasurer. But he was at 100 his whole speech, like the whole speech.
Talking about the dude who couldn't remember his speech, his favorite
Yeah,
quote.
his favorite line, and he couldn't remember what his favorite line was. And we always pick on him because he's the one who always go, with great power comes. Somebody yelled out great responsibility, and he screamed at the lungs. Who said that? That's right.
Yeah. Desperate times for desperate measures. Yeah.
Oh, So I said I found somebody who was more annoying than him. And she is. And I got a couple of more videos of her, but I'm just gonna show this one today because you can't take in but one of her talking points per day. So she's an OAN new correspondent, and this is her way, I guess, of making a point and trying to be funny at the same time, and it don't work at all.
Maybe if JoJo had been wearing his diaper like a good little boy, he could have avoided all of this. And yes, I'm referring to his face diaper, not his regular diaper. We all know Joey doesn't leave the basement without his Depends. I wouldn't be shocked if after this, the CDC decided to take this overreach another step further and started trying to mandate hazmat suits for everyone. That would actually make way more sense if they want this failing garbage narrative of theirs to remain somewhat believable. If you're going to enforce unconstitutional mandates, why not just go all in? Forget the N95. Let's go for full-on gas masks to complement our disposable orange jumpsuits. Okay, but jokes aside,
I personally don't find anything wrong with that. I mean, I think it's really good that there's an aftermarket for adult film stars, and she's trying to make the best out of it. This is her opportunity. You hear all the time that they go into the profession so that they could become an actress or a model, and she managed to just break a whole new glass ceiling. She's on her way. She's in the news media now. So bravo to you, whatever your stage name is, and there you go. Keep up the good work. I'm just saying.
I'm still dumbfounded over the last statement. All jokes aside, and it's like you was
Conservative
joking.
humor sucks. They don't have good humor. They just don't. So I mean, it's just they don't. I mean, I can't think of a good, funny conservative comedian unless you get into like your blue collar people, like what's his name? Jeff Foxworthy and them, but they're really quite liberal or moderate. So they're not really like they're religious, but they're not conservative. You know what I mean?
No, they don't
So
make- yeah.
so they don't they're so I they are really bad at comedy. They just are, but whatever.
That was just bad. I'm
This is
sorry.
bad acting.
That was just very bad. It was like you did this how many times in the mirror? All porn jokes aside, I'm literally saying that you rehearsed this thing in front of the mirror. Like
I said adult film, but
it's the same thing.
is it?
It's literally the same thing.
No, because like porn is like when you just doing it and the camera's on. But adult film, you got lighting, you got a team, you might have a backdrop for real. You're not like in some random hotel room, just high class.
At least he didn't say he has 1% behind him. Oh, yeah.
But I mean,
That guy.
it did what it was supposed to do. It's got liberals talking about it.
I didn't keep feeling it. Because they still have that 30, 35, 40% of the audience who
They got more than that.
they got more than that. They're just the loudest. They just loud.
The 30% are the ones that it's like they just all in. You know what I mean? Like they're like, yeah, I'll do it. But then there's like another like 30%, maybe even 40 in my opinion, that to sit there and be like, not all of it. So
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to
we need
I just
more.
want to get your
We need her, and we need the girl. And just
we never need to see her ever again. And I couldn't find that tape if I wanted
party
to.
till I die. Raise them up, raise them high.
You didn't like the other one that was in New York and
Nah, I wasn't feeling her.
is she in jail now? I think she in jail.
Her
now.
and her boyfriend supposedly, but we don't know because they were like super hackers who stole a bunch of Bitcoin. So they might be working for the government right now.
I guarantee they
You
probably
don't know.
work for it. Probably so. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Probably so.
Yeah, be a really good cyber criminal. You get a job.
No, we're not gonna show it, Anna. We're not gonna show it. I don't even know where that video is, and nor am I gonna go out of my way to find it.
I mean, how do you search for that? I mean, how do you spell that?
Party till I die.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
let me find that for you.
You know, I'm good. I'm good. Actually, maybe I will play it later on today.
Like Australian rapper, Party Till I Die. I'll probably find
No,
it.
just
for you.
like Party Till I Die. It's for some reason that's the only song that comes up.
Cause she done blew up. She like Ice JJ Fish.
We're definitely gonna
R&B
move
legend.
on. God, that's a terrible dude. We're gonna move on because I'm so mixed with the answer to this issue, and I'm seeing it both sides. So I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna let y'all decide. What's appropriate in this right now.
College fund hostage? I'm a 48-year-old guy, and I have a son who graduated from high school this year. My wife and I started his college fund the minute that we found out that she was pregnant. Since we make good money, like in the mid-six figures, his college fund currently has almost $400,000 in it. We've never told our son what to do with this life. We may have guided his decisions, as any good parent should, but since he was still young, we let him make his own decisions. We also never expected academic excellence or forced him into sports or artistic activities. Now that he graduated high school, he said that he didn't want to go to college. We said as long as he was sure, he could do whatever he wanted. He refused trade schools too. He also didn't want to work with us on our business. He said that he planned to use his college fund to start a business of his own. I said that I'll allow it if only he takes some business management, accounting, and law classes in the nearby community college. I said that I would pay them out of pocket and not from the college fund. And then I would expect a well-made business plan before I would give him the money, and my wife 100% agrees. But he called us buttholes for holding his college fund hostage to make him do what we want. We think that we're just doing our best to make sure that his business succeeds. So, am I the butthole?
Nah, you're just a bad parent and you're stupid.
Okay, elaborate on that.
All right, so first of all, it's called a college fund for a reason. So, college fund belongs to the parents for the purpose of the child to go to college. So that money is not his. Okay, the only way it becomes his is if you're looking at it as an in vitro, in vitro inheritance, which you're also not entitled to. That's just when your parents give you money while they're still alive. All right, so the parents are bad parents, I say, because you obviously raised a self-righteous, lazy ass kid. Okay, because you don't want to go to college. All right, college ain't for everybody. But you said that you raised him with no expectation of academic excellence, nor did he have to have any meaningful outside activities. You just let him be. That's free range parenting. I don't have any compassion for free range parents. And then the kid, all right, he's not going to college, cool. He's not going to go to military, cool. He's not going to go to vocational school, cool. And then he wants to start a business with no education. And you really thinking about giving him the money, because you could tell from the way it was written, they probably still gave him the money. So I got no feelings for him. You know, these are people with money that the people I know ain't never going to see. So I hope you gave him the money. He fucks it all up and he lives in your house and sponges off of you and never gets a job outside of working at the local Best Buy that only let him work there because he's really good at like dusting the TVs. Fuck you and your whole family.
Okay. Here's where I'm split at.
Which part? The Best Buy?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't think that would happen. I agree with the bad parenting part. I agree with the college thing too. Honestly, I really do. What I'm jumping on this kid for was you graduated. This was a whole setup, bar none. I don't care what anybody try to tell me, because you're not going to wait until you graduate out of high school and then tell them, "Oh, I decided I'm not going to college."
Yeah, you would. They had no expectations on this kid.
No. I'm talking about the son held that. The son held that until after he graduates and go, "Oh, by the way, mom, dad, I ain't going to college.
Yeah, I'm a ball out.
But I need that college money. I'm going to start my own business." Now, the only thing I'm going to jump on the parents about, is the fact that, okay, what Thea said, you put no educational, academic expectations on him. Yet you want this kid to go take courses in business, courses in accounting, blah, 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 write up a business.
Yes, you want $500,000.
No. I'm telling you, this dude has not excelled in very much.
Right.
But you automatically want him to start going taking business courses.
Yes.
Accounting.
Yes.
Yeah.
If dude, you want my money.
That money that you're going to spend out of your pocket, you ain't never seeing that again.
But see, that's why the parents put it the way he did it. He's saying, if you want this money, I'm not even going to touch the money. I'm going to use my money. And I'm so sure your lazy ass ain't going to follow through. I'll pay for you to go to school up the street. You ain't even got to go that far. Just go to take some basic classes. But I know your little lazy butt won't do that. So That part is actually cool. It's just that the way it was written, because I ignore the tone of voice of the person that do these videos. I hate them videos like that. But just reading it, the parent is like, they gonna cave. So this was their way of being like, yo, I see that you really just think you're gonna ball out on this money and then still be able to fall back on us. So show me that you're serious about this thing, because running a real business, a real business, takes a lot of dedication. And they know, because him and his wife have a business that's affording the lifestyle that they obviously enjoy. So they know what it takes.
And they never did say what the business was.
Yeah,
I kind of want to know what the business was. Because the funny thing about it is, it's $400,000 in his account.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of businesses need $400,000 to start.
No, it doesn't. But that's not what the son is after. The son is after the money. So
that's what I'm saying. I would like to tell him first question off the bat is, what's the business?
That's why he wants a business plan.
Second plan I want to know is, how much it's going to cost. Because if you come out your mouth talking about $400,000, nah. See, I'm not as dumb as you, son. So I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, whatever this business that you finna start is not running $400,000 off the bat.
That's why the right answer would have been no. That'd have been the right answer. But they want to play this little game out. They're still trying to raise their grown child. So they were like, if you're serious about doing this, son, because there are people, many successful business people, never went to college. Okay. But to be successful at what you want to do as a business owner, you do need the foundations of business management, accounting, and a little bit of business law. If you can just get those under your belt, you now know how generally to deal with the business environment, and then you'll ramp up, as you go. But you got to come to me with doing that, and I need a business plan, because that's when I know you're serious. You don't want to do a business plan, you don't want my money.
I gotta agree. He's still a kid. I wouldn't give him the money yet. Wait a few years, and he might want to go to college or trade school, then give it to him. Like I said, I'm with Theus on this one. I need to see what it is that you want to do.
And and another thing, I'm old school. Okay, so I don't really believe in the get out at 18 type thing, because times have changed. You know what I mean? But if you're not going to school, military, working a real job, I'm pretty much 3, or vocational school, you got to get out, right? You're not going to be 18, 19, up in my house, unemployed, doing nothing. That right there, nah. But my kids are raised up, they 13, and they already know. We going to college. And if we're not going to college, we're going to do such and such and such and such. You will have a plan. And your plan will not be sitting on my couch eating up my food. That won't be your plan.
Using my electricity, using up my air.
You just there. When I go to the kitchen, you in the kitchen. When I go, no, we're not going to do it. We're not doing Friday. That's not our life. Okay? So you want to go to work, then go to work. Okay? But if you're just going to be an 18-year-old who is not trying to do anything more, okay, that's a problem for me. So if you're not trying to do more, and you're going to be 18, if you got a job, I'll let you stay here. But because now you've shown that you don't have enough ambition to function out there, you're going to pay me rent for being here. That's what we're going to do. I am not trying to have an extended dependent.
What's up, Parker?
What's up, man?
All right, we're going to move on then.
Got my blood pressures up.
Well, this next video ain't going to help then.
Lazy.
When I tell y'all, I said this last night. There are some people who just flat out evil or ignorant or a little of both. I figured this lady is a little of both.
We're a mostly Hispanic family that lives in a modest middle-class neighborhood. Our teenage sons maintain our lawn and also our neighbor's lawn. She's a single mom and an ER nurse and appreciates the help. The cast is Karen, my older son who's 19, my younger son who's 17, me and my husband, plus some bonus characters at the end. My sons had noticed a few times that there was a woman in a silver Lexus that rolled past our house a few times when they'd been out there. She basically just pulled up in front of the house and idled in the middle of the street staring. Finally, one evening, she worked up the nerve to roll down the window to speak with them. Karen says, "Hello, I saw you boys doing the yards and wondered if you could do mine too." "Possibly. Where do you live?" "I live 3 miles away in a much more expensive neighborhood." "Oh no, I'm sorry, ma'am. We don't have a truck and the lawn equipment won't fit in my car." "Okay, thanks. No problem. Bye." So a couple weeks later, Karen rolls up again. "Hello, I saw you boys doing the yards and wondered if you could do mine too." "I'm sorry, ma'am, but like we told you last time, we don't have any way to transport our lawn equipment. Also, this really isn't a business. We just do it in our spare time to help out." "Well, how do you get it all here?" "We live here, and we do our neighbor's yard as a favor." "You live here? Let me speak to your master." "Do you mean our parents?" "No, your master, owner, boss, whatever." My younger son then comes in to get me and relays what's happening. I'm still kind of disbelieving and think he surely misunderstood. My older son just ignored her while she waited and resumed his yard work. I walk out and say, "Hello, ma'am. How can I help you?" "I need to talk to their owner." She points at my sons. "I'm their mother. What's the issue?" "Who is their owner? I want to speak with them." "They don't work here, lady. This isn't a business. These are my sons." Karen still doesn't seem to understand that I am the mistress of the house, also referred to in 2020 as the homeowner. At this point, my husband, who is Caucasian, comes out of the house to see what's happening. Karen then says to my husband, "Sir, hi, I was wondering if you would allow your workers to come do my yard." My husband, who's not been apprised of what the hell is actually happening but realizes something is definitely not right, says, "Hi, ma'am, these are my sons. They live here. Is something wrong?" Karen then seems to finally realize what's happening and mumbles something of an apology to my husband only, then gets back in her car and leaves. But wait, there's more. About an hour later, 2 police officers, 2 separate squad SUVs, show up at our door, lights flashing and weirdly parked blocking the street. My husband answers the door and the officer explains to him that they got a complaint that there was a burglary in progress. My older son provided them with her vehicle description and license plate. He was smart enough to note, sensing she would be trouble. The officers explained they've gotten several neighborhood watch calls about her. Apparently she drives around our neighborhood trying to hire handymen, lawn workers for cheap. Kind of reminds me of Dwight Schrute and looking for un bueno worker.
Oh, come on. That was a good one.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. But fully open to whatever you think about it, because I got nothing for you, bro. That was stupid. It wasn't even good screenwriting. Like,
Again, this is the one you think is fake.
it was garbage from the beginning to the end. And then they literally laid it out like, here's the cast of characters. All right, cool. I think that they really need to spend more time in screenwriting. Work on their craft.
We ain't never.
What did you think, Marlon?
We ain't never. First of all, what I'm gonna say is we never going to agree on what we think is real and what's not. We never will.
That's fine.
Because this is the one I think is real, and I got the one where I think it's fake because it doesn't make no sense at the end.
The beauty of me is I don't require anyone to agree with me.
What are you saying? That's a. Come on, y'all. Really? Yeah, and I got somebody with a different voice.
Yeah, it sounds like you got Rush Limbaugh to come and narrate.
Karen has a short-term OMG. What the hell? She actually said master. Yeah,
Exactly. Now, you wouldn't even say that. That's what I'm saying. This whole thing is garbage and BS because that's not even a normal term relative to the situation, right? So that's why I'm like, it was just so lazy. It was such lazy writing.
All this time while she's driving around being a crazy woman, she could have mowed her own damn lawn.
But she would have to exist first.
First of all, people like this, Parker, for the people who believe this story. People like this would spend quality time driving around trying to find somebody to do their work than them actually doing the work. I mean, I've literally seen it happen. I've literally dealt with managers. I've dealt with personnel. I have dealt with the higher ups. I have literally dealt with people who spent more time trying to get people to do a portion of their work than them actually doing their work. As a matter of fact, I even go further to say I've seen more people spend more time trying to find somebody to do their job. And if they'd have did it, it would have been over with. They would have been done.
Hateful people always got time.
Oh yeah, this also is somebody who obviously,
if they existed,
if she exists, which these people do. I ain't gonna say this person does it, but you know, there's some people who, oh yeah, they have plenty of time on their hands to go around and do this. Half the time, I think they do it for that reason alone anyway. They truly, we always joke and say, don't you have better things to do? No. No, they don't. They truly do not have better things to do.
And miserable people need to be able to justify their misery. So they spread it around and then pretend as though it's someone else who's creating their displeasure.
Well, you also got to remember, miserable people are not miserable because they're miserable people. They're people that's making them miserable.
Well, they delight in the misfortune of others. So,
yeah.
Well, some of them, right? Some of them delight in the misfortune of others. So it's like making you miserable doesn't make them happy. Making you miserable just justifies their misery. See, I told you the world was jacked up. Yeah, because you out here jacking it up.
Pretty much. It seems I disagree with Theos on almost everything except the dump stuff. Whatever. Like I said, and I have a strange feeling when I actually play the real or non show. Excuse me. I guarantee these two people will come in and go, "Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, that." Excuse me. Yeah, that's possible. That could happen. No, it can't. Get the hint.
A couple of days ago, I tried to shoot my shot with a girl on Blink and slid into her DMs. Everything seemed to be going well. We clicked and were having good convos. She seemed to be interested in me, too. Snippet of our conversations in the pic below. We organized a lunch date on the 14th of February, so Valentine's. It was clear we'd be each other's Valentines, right? Valentine's Day came around and we went out on our date today. I thought I'd surprise her with a bouquet of roses, 24 to be more specific, and a couple of small gifts. Needless to say, I spent at least $250 on our first date. Fast forward when I was waiting for her with a bunch of things in my arm. She turned up and didn't quite look like her photos, but that's okay, I still had a date. She looked a tad uncomfortable with the things I got her, and the date was quite awkward. I don't know if it was because of the differences between how we were in real life and online, or if I went overboard with the gifts. I honestly thought she'd enjoy the things I got her. The date ended on a quick note. She took the gifts and bolted without us getting together. You know stuff went wrong when she doesn't want to get together. So here I am, home after the so-called date, and I have yet to receive a message from her. No, thanks for the date, or that was nice, we should go out again sometime. Should I take this as she rejected and ghosted me, or should I try and hit her up some more?
Then an admin replies, I don't think your screenshot is a sign of we clicked and we're having good conversations.
Let's take a look at those conversations, shall we? Hey, how was your day? It was aight. What you do? Just drive around. Ah, nice. Getting those hours up, I see. What you doing now? Watching a drama with a good guy mate? Wow, mad env. Can I join or what? So apparently this guy considers that conversation to be sexual chemistry. And then the girl replies, dude, did our entire conversation fly over your head or what? I made it clear it wasn't a date before it actually happened. It wasn't my intention to even run off with that junk you got me. I just got, date me because I'm nice and have money vibes off you, as if I was going to stay for another minute. I'm giving the roses and jewelry back to you. I don't want it. And then she posts a screenshot of the conversation. So, I can get you roses and some other things. Hey man, I've made it clear, just because we're going out for lunch on V-Day doesn't mean it's a date. I'm telling you now. Nah, it's fine. Then OP replies, I did so much for you and I don't even have a chance. You won't get a chance with other guys looking like your catfish self. You're lucky I even considered you. You know what? I'm glad you buggered off. Probably effing that good guy mate of yours. He can keep your stanky self. Then the admin replies, yikes, I had to correct your grammar. Take an effing hint, man.
Stuff like this just reminded me of literally how I grew up. Like this guy literally, I've had friends that did this, that just ignored every freaking sign known to mankind that this girl, and some of y'all women too, but I can only speak from the man's point of view, ignored each and every doggone sign of this girl ain't into you, dude. She ain't even trying to use you for your money or anything like that. She really just ain't into you. And you ignored all of that till the girl put you on blast, and now you butt hurt and you sad and it ain't your fault and nobody wants your steak and B and all this other stuff. It just, these things just reminded me so much of grow the fuck up. I can't even explain it no better way of saying it. Just grow the fuck up, man. You literally told everybody how much you spent on your grow up. No, nobody want to deal with this. And kudos to the girl for being upfront at the beginning. I mean, really. Because it's a whole bunch of they want to hurt their feelings type thing. She was straight up with you at the beginning. She even said, I'm letting you know right now, this is not a date. And what's the first thing that came out your mouth, dude? Nah, it's fine. It really is a date. You just play it hard to get. And then these are the ones who go out in the world, go on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and everything else, and be crying about there ain't no real men or no real women out there. Because they don't want to put up with your immature ass. There's take it away.
There's not a whole lot to say, man. He's a creep. He's dangerous. It was never about her. I would even say that he doesn't even like women. And I'm not saying that he's gay. I'm just saying he doesn't like women. And so the first red flag from me was you bought 2 dozen roses for a Valentine's Day date that wasn't a Valentine's Day date. So you are already trying to uh, manipulate her before you even know her. So you're trying to bookmark her into a situation where you think you can get some by spending some. So, okay, cool. What we're going to do here is I'm going to try to play on your femininity, and girls like roses, I'm gonna get her roses, and girls like shiny things, so I'm gonna get her a couple little baubles, and then I'm gonna make sure we're gonna have our first date on Valentine's Day. Yeah, because if you don't have a date for Valentine's Day, you probably hard up. So I could definitely play that angle. And then first thing I see you, I'm automatically summing you up off of what I see of you. So I'm like, she already don't even stack up to what I deserve to have. So he's got that mentality that's already there. And then the date was irrelevant, right? Anything that didn't end in him having her naked was a waste of time. And I'd be willing to bet, based on how that particularly flowed out in that psychology, that he wouldn't have known what to do with her if they did get that far, because he doesn't have any experience. You know what I'm saying? So he's sitting here in his head building all this up so that when it fails, he can say it's something other than himself. And then it fell apart because she was smart and she realized she was in danger. You know? So that's that. If I'm gonna find any fault with her, because I do have a little bit of fault to put on her. The text messages were enough to let you know that not to go forward.
Yeah, I'll give
you know what I'm saying.
That.
You don't know this dude, and he's already being that familiar. You know what I mean? I'm hanging with my boy. Oh, can I join you? Hold up, bro. You too familiar for something I don't know. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the only thing that I would put on her. She should have seen that danger signal and just let it ride. But she decided to just, let's see what happens. And she could have found her ass in the trunk.
The girl was smart. I mean,
yeah, she was smart.
I agree with you.
But going on the date was not the smart part.
No.
Exiting when she realized, this really is a jacked up dude. That was the smart part. And then she never even should have even responded to him after that. Forget I'm going to give you your stuff back. New number, who this? I'm not responding to nothing.
Do me a favor. Find somebody who y'all know or something like that and give the stuff to them and let them return stuff.
Just throw it away. What you going to do with roses? Throw them away. And then the roses by themselves, I mean, let's just be real. 2 dozen roses, even if you get it from the cheap, right? You know what I'm saying? That one store that give them to you for the low.
Yeah.
So that might run you what, $50?
Store?
Huh?
The convenience store?
No, not even that. There's usually like the buy roses here place. You know what I'm saying? Oh. So you probably get you a good 2 dozen for like $50 because it's Valentine's Day. So you might push that up a little bit more, right? So let's say he spent $100 on roses because flowers ain't cheap. Then you said you bought her a couple gifts, which turned out to be jewelry. So that means it was costume jewelry. It wasn't even good jewelry. Okay. So let's throw another 50 on it. So that means your date was only about $100 for 2 people.
Well, that was $250.
That's what I'm saying. Roses, the junk, and the dinner was $250. So if you back out all the stuff, he went to a regular spot. It's just a regular spot. It's $50 a plate. $50 a plate is good. I don't care where you live. It's good. Okay. But he ain't do nothing special. He's got a really dangerous mentality. And he's the kind of person that you got to be watching out for.
I'm going to answer this real quick, Parker. You still talking about that lady driving around in the car. She probably gets some sort of satisfaction in making someone else do their job for them and not even paying them. Yes and no. And I'm going to tell you why. Or yes and yes, probably. But there's a caveat to it. Yes, she probably do get satisfaction out of exactly what you said. Out of trying to get the best service in the world without paying jack squat. That's how people like that are. Also, the majority of these people, not all of them, so I'm going to tell you off the bat now, the majority of the people ain't done real fucking labor a day in their life. Like, labor is so beneath them, it's not funny. They literally look at anything that remotely cause them to sweat in any type of way, shape, or form is manual labor, and they're not doing it.
I don't like doing manual labor at all.
I don't like doing manual labor
At all.
I also don't like my yard looking like crap either.
I don't like it, but sometimes shit happens.
So, but you ain't driving around trying to find the cheapest labor you possibly can either.
Nope.
No, you can get out
I
there
take some cheap labor though if it came through.
I mean,
Why? But I ain't nah.
no.
I don't do that crap.
So yeah, Parker, you was right on both of them. Does she take satisfaction out of it? Yeah, because these are the same people who not only refuse to do anything that's manual labor, they really feel like the people who's doing this manual labor don't need to be paid what they're asking to be paid.
Yeah, those are the first ones to call it unskilled.
Yeah.
They'll be the first ones. They're
the first ones who would look at everything that you did. Now, and remember what I said at the beginning. They want the best of the best. If you cut the grass, there better not be one shred of grass blade even remotely over on the driveway part of it. Everything need to be cut clean and quartered and everything else. It need to be pristine. And then they'll turn around and tell you all you did was cut grass. Anybody could do that. So yeah, you
if she was real.
I'm talking about the real people, not this story. So we can move on. This next story, I'm gonna play it, and it comes up so perfectly because this is getting on my damn nerves already with this. Is it real or not already? And we ain't even done with the first hour. So I'll play this video simply because I'm telling everybody I would actually do this to this. With no qualms whatsoever, no sadness, nothing.
Safeway. For those who may not know, it's a massive supermarket and grocery chain on the US West Coast. Being in Northern California, we have a robust and amazing Mexican population. They're all great people. Also, being in California, it can get pretty hot, even up to 108 degrees Fahrenheit at the peak of summer. Now, I'm a mayonnaise white, ranch dipping, polo wearing cracker. I had this one Mexican coworker named Jesus. He was a great dude, funny, obsessed with women, and he loved to mess with me. I was lower management, and I had a lot of Spanish-speaking customers and a lot of Spanish-speaking staff. I wanted to learn some Spanish, and I was picking up some job-related terms here and there. Bolsa, ayuda, javes, and such. It allowed me to try to converse with my customers and staff better and learn along the way. Everybody wins. So this one extremely hot day, I asked Jesus how to say that I was really hot to customers. Just some non-offensive weather talk. Jesus tells me, "Oh, you say, yo soy muy caliente." So, okay, we're at work and I took him at his word, and I used it all day with my Spanish-speaking customers. So, people are acting pretty weird as they're coming through my line for much of the day. And eventually this woman comes through, and like so many before her, I say, "Hola, su tarjeta, ¿cómo está?" That translates to, "Hello, can I have your club card? How are you?" She smiles. "Bien, et tú?" "Good, and you?" Now, this is my 100th customer or so I'd had this conversation all day. But to this woman, this angel of a woman, I say, "Yo soy muy caliente." while sort of puffing my collar and fanning my face with my hand. She starts laughing so hard that she almost can't talk, and she asks me in English, "Do you know what that means?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it means I'm really hot," as I'm handing her my receipt. So she leans in real close, grabs her receipt, and whispers, "It means I'm very horny." Then she grabs her bag and walks off. I turn bright red, then turn around and Jesus is at the check stand behind me, laughing his butt off, crying tears, leaning on his register. Turns out he had been sitting there all day having the time of his goddamn life, watching me tell all of our customers how horny I was. I gave up on Spanish. Oh.
I would do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't want to disrespect the native tongue. But yeah, I can see it happening. It was done to me when I was like in 6th grade. Yeah, that's when I lived in Texas. And there's this group of kids, the Mexican gang that I used to kind of, kick it with. And they had taught me, basically, I heard them say something. Basically, I'm not gonna say the real term. Well, I mean, we curse on here. So it's like pinche colada, right? And I'm sitting here, to me, that sounds like peachy Kool-Aid, right? So I'm trying to be funny with it. Peachy Kool-Aid, peachy Kool-Aid. And I'm sitting in class, and I know peachy, as long as you don't say pinche, right? Peachy is just a word. And Kool-Aid is a word, right? My teacher is a Spanish speaker. And he calls me out in the middle of class. And he's like, "Do you even know what that means?" And I'm like, nah, because I was a class clown, stupid kid. And he's like, "So you just say things you don't know?" Shut me all the way down. I'm like, but yeah, so I can see it happening. People do that. I would never do that.
I would do it. But caliente does mean hot, not horny.
But see, it's like caliente is like hot, but in the personal sense, it's like I'm hot, right? Because if he had said hace calor or something to that flavor, then it would have flowed as he's overheated. But he went with caliente, so it could be construed as, "Yo, kind of hot," big deal. I didn't get horny from it, but it definitely gives you that, hey, kind of.
I was going with it, but I
kind of
couldn't
clean fun.
I've heard commercials that used to use caliente.
Yeah, because it's like sexy. It's savoir faire. You got that. It's like you having a good time. It's a party time. Caliente. You're having a good time. But yeah, at work, talking to customers, and you obviously don't know what the hell you're saying. so
don't say it. Yeah. Well, that was him trusting that. Obviously this dude is not going to give me something that's.
And his friend was cool. What Jesus did was he gave him something real. It's like it was clean fun. Like it was nothing that was really going to get you in trouble. You weren't saying anything offensive, because when you say "yo soy caliente, muy caliente," you're not sounding creepy. You know what I'm saying? You're not. It doesn't come across to a Spanish speaker that you are like that. But this lady was probably kind of conservative, so when she hears it, she's letting him know, "Yo, this is how this could be picked up, son." So.
And cool on that one person to sit there and finally, dude. Because I'm pretty sure she picked up on the vibe of popping his collar. Yeah, hey, blah, blah, blah. She probably looked like, "Dude, you really have no idea what you just said, do you? Because you're real." No, nobody would be.
It's that motherly thing. You know what I'm saying? Some people got that about them. Like if I know that you're saying something that, especially, first of all, I don't believe in being like the white folks whisperer. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't believe in being the Negro whisperer, right? But if I know we're a mixed company and you're just trying a little bit too hard, right? and you get slightly over your skis and you say something that doesn't translate the same way in a different group. Like in the Black community, a certain little thing you say, we might be like, yo, that's not your native way of speaking, and we know it, right? And people will start to pick on you. Me being me, I'm probably going to step in and like kind of curb the energy so that you don't become like the rolling butt of the joke. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's good.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's me though. So I'm like the lady. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're doing, but I know that you don't quite understand. So I'm not going to let you, like, it's nothing worse to me anyway. There's very few things worse than seeing somebody be a butt of a joke and not know that the butt of the joke. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching someone, it's like watching a group of kids laugh and joke and at the special kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. So it's like, if I know that you're not in on the joke that's happening, I gotta rescue you from it if I can.
So Mickey had a skunk outside her house.
Mm-mm.
Yikes.
Mm-mm. That skunk owns that yard. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yikes. No skunk tonight. And Anna's agreeing with you. All right, one last story for tonight. I got to end on a good feeling story. So
It's gonna be your fake one.
No, you already picked out the fake one. In your words. This is not my fake one. This is just relax, everybody. This is the feel good story before we go into the second hour.
Metal at night, but I did it anyway. It was around 9 p.m. I just sat down on the couch with a cup of tea after an hour-long struggle to get my 6-year-old boy to bed. All of a sudden, there is a tremendous noise out in front of my house. Sounds like the world's ending. A metal apocalypse. I leap up and run to the front window and squint out into the darkness of my usually quiet blue-collar suburban street. There, across the road, is my neighbor, Johnny. He's dragging a 12-foot-long metal beam along the sidewalk, resting one end on the top edge of a big cage trailer, then trying to shove slide the beams down and inside. The noise is unbelievable. I watch for a couple minutes in disbelief and grow angrier as I notice about 50 more metal beams stacked behind him. This isn't going to finish anytime soon. Then, to top it off, my son wakes up and starts making a fuss. I grab a piece of paper and write an angry message at Johnny in big block letters. My neighbor Johnny is profoundly deaf, hence the written note. He's lived in that house for all his 50 years, and alone since his mother died a decade ago. He hasn't done so well by himself. I think his house has fallen into disrepair. He's hoarded so much scrap metal that it's filled his property and flowed over the outside of his wall, encroaching on the sidewalk. I know the mess drives other neighbors crazy, but I don't particularly care. Makes me feel less guilty about not mowing my lawn as often as I should. Apart from the eyesore, he's never bothered me in any way. I barely had anything to do with him at all over the years, to be honest. At 9 p.m. last night, however, I was spitting mad. Another huge boom echoes outside. Fantasies of physical violence flash through my mind. The blood rage takes me. I grab my angry note, put on my slippers, and storm out the door in my pajamas straight over to him. I'm tall, heavily built, pretty mean-looking guy. Johnny's like 5'5", looks kind of like a shrunken version of Zach Galifianakis. My appearance startles him, and he looks up at me with a worried face, still holding one end of the metal beam, sweat running down his cheeks. I am about to unleash on him. I look down at this small, hairy, deaf hobbit man in front of me. I look back across the street at my son watching us from behind the screen door. I look at the angry note in my hand. My anger evaporates and is replaced by something else. I felt ashamed. I consider how he's been deaf since birth and may not even realize how noisy he's being, and I feel even more ashamed. I shove the note in my pocket before he sees it. I point to my chest, then do a weightlifting motion with my hands. His face brightens, and he nods excitedly. I walk over and grab one end of a beam. He grabs the other. I start helping him haul those 90-pound metal beams into his trailer. And after 20 minutes, I'm breathing hard, and we finally get the last one in. I feel him squeeze my arm. He's smiling up at me and mouths, "Thank you." The only word we exchanged the whole time. I nod and go home. A couple minutes later, I'm in the bathroom washing the dirt and sweat away, and my son comes in. He's angry and confused, like a disappointed mob that didn't get to watch the hanging they were promised. "Why didn't you shout at him, Daddy? You should have taught him a lesson. He's an idiot." Idiot being the strongest word in my son's vocabulary. So I sit him down on the couch and I put my arm around him, cuddle up, and I talk to him about the different ways I could have handled that situation, and about neighbors and helping, and being kind, and about how you meet all types of people in your life, and the story of the scar by my eye and how much I regret the times I've been aggressive in my life. He's silent afterwards and seems to be in deep thought as I carry him back to bed. I drove past Johnny today and he waved and did a bicep flex at me. Like, "Hey, aren't we the two metal hauling musclemen of the street?" I couldn't help but chuckle.
Yep, this story is legit. I'm with it. Because this is exactly how I probably would have. Oh, well, no, it's not exactly how I would have reacted. To be real with you, because if I know that he's deaf, and once I identify that's him making the noise, then there wouldn't have been an angry note. It would have been, okay, I'm going to go out here and talk to the neighbor, stay in the house, stay away from the door, don't unlock it for anybody. And then I would have locked the door, and I would have went over, and I would have helped Johnny. Whether that was help Johnny understand that he's being loud, or help Johnny get this out the way so it's over and out the way. So, yeah, that's how people are supposed to be. That's human. That's like, yeah. Like the whole story was right.
You know what? I don't know how many years it's gonna take me. I'm never gonna catch on to your thinking.
What part of what I was saying,
ever.
man? I mean, it's just being a
No,
decent
I
human
agree
being.
with I agree with you. But I remember I always play a feel-good story, and you always come back with, "Man, that's a bunch of crap."
Nah, dude, you trying to talk about the old lady hustler, hobbit, kidnapping lady? That's different. That was BS. But this is different. It's just somebody being a decent neighbor who recognized after his original reaction, right? His original reaction was to all the noise, you disturbing my kid, the whole nine. Even though your kid's 6, it means the kid's like elementary school age. You know what I'm saying? That's a kindergartner. Shouldn't be functioning like. Anyway, everybody don't raise their kids at the same level, so that's cool. But
yeah, I did feel some type of way with the word idiot. I'm like, bro.
But of all the things, but then the way he explained everything to the kid at the end, that's generally how I talk to my kids when I'm trying to bring them up to speed on something that they just experienced or witnessed. So I'm like, yeah, it's cool. It's what you do.
All right. I do have one last video, and this is how I feel right now. Sometimes
like he would have tackled old boy in the street.
No. Actually, to be totally honest with you, the only thing that was throwing me off on the story was, dude, why are you moving beams at night?
Might have been what he thought about.
Yeah, I would have been the person. I would have been the person that would have went across the street and helped them. I mean, I hope I've showed that I would have been that person being on this show. That I'm not going to. It ain't in me to go over. I mean, granted, I have to know you, and if I know you're being an a-hole, just being an a-hole, and you want me to react, I'm going to react.
Yeah.
But if I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you're deaf, your mom died, you having a rough life, you at the very least, I know what your yard look like, and you're literally going out of your way to clean it.
I'll put it like this, dog.
For what?
That scenario only plays out that way with me, given what he told us. I don't know my neighbors. None of them. So if you out there at 9 o'clock at night scraping stuff across the sidewalk, I ain't coming outside to talk to you. I don't like people, and I definitely don't like people I don't know in the dark. So yeah, I'm either gonna try to just ignore it and see if it's over pretty quick. Or I'm gonna call them boys and let them come talk to you. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I don't.
I know my three neighbors. I know my one to the left and right and the one in front. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, if I hear some noise in the middle of the night, something wrong.
The one on one side, I know her. Sweet lady, older lady, reminds me of my mama. I do anything she might ask me to do, but I don't kick it with none of my neighbors. All my neighbors on the other
I
side
don't
of my
kick it with them.
cul-de-sac, all the rest of my neighbors on my cul-de-sac, they're all Spanish speaking. They keep to themselves, except for my direct next door neighbor. I think they're either African or Haitian, but they keep to themselves as well. But I might, it's like we wave, like we wave, like
Yeah.
10 years we wave. That's what we got, right? But nah. And then directly across from me, I got a black family. They keep to themselves. Everybody keep to themselves, right? Except for the like 3 or 4 Latino families that finish out our little cul-de-sac. They interact with each other. But yeah, it's mad chill little community. But I don't know y'all like that.
I like my neighborhood. My mom and them came over to stay over while we went on vacation. And like I said, I'm not, it ain't like we throw a block party and everything. We just know each other. We know each other, we know each other's routine, we know each other's in and outs and stuff like that. In other words, we know if there's something wrong or there's something different, there's something wrong, we can pick it up on it. So my mom was staying over a couple of times, and she said, "Your neighborhood kind of protective, ain't they?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She talking about. So a couple of times I was taking the clothes out to wash the clothes, and cars would drive by, but when they get to your house, they slow down and look at me and just get one of those kind of looks. I was like, "Oh, yeah, they don't know you."
Hey, look, how you look? Don't be side no old lady at my house. Oh, don't you do it? Don't you do it?
I'm
What's
sorry.
she doing? What's she doing? What's she doing? Miss
Don't
Gladys gonna
bother.
rob my house? That's what we doing today?
They
That's what we doing today?
they would never do that to my daughter, Ashley, because Ashley comes around a lot, so they cool. But when they see a car in my driveway, they looking like,
Why are you here? Yeah.
and what's in the basket that you pulled out the house and putting in your car?
And that's cool. Like my ex-wife, like she's in like this, her family has some property, right? Like in the hood, like the hood, right? And I'm the suburban kid, you know. So when you come down that road, they know who come up and down that road. And it's in like some side road. Like this is a real road, right? But you in the hood. So it's wild though, because they knew my car, right? And they know me. So if I was up there, it didn't matter if it was at night or daytime, no sweat, right? None. But the few times I rode up there in somebody else's car, driving somebody else's car, all eyes on me.
Yeah, the hood is like that. The hood is like that. There are neighborhoods where I can literally tell you they take care of them. They take care of their own, as in, do not be in this neighborhood after dark unless you know somebody, and you better be introduced during the daytime. So if you just happen to be around, they'll look at you and go, "Oh, you with such and such." Oh, okay, all right. But they don't know you.
Yeah, you gotta have somebody vouch for you.
Yeah, they're gonna question you like the cops.
Yeah, I had that
Dude.
one time too.
Yeah,
That was funny.
they oh yeah. Oh,
that was funny. I was in a black Lexus, chromed out rims, dark tint. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking for somebody, and pull up, and it's me and my wife, right? pull up, drop the window, and I'm like, "Hey, my man, looking for so and so, right?" And he like turns a little sideways and leans back, and then he leans a little forward. He like, "You the police?" And I'm like, "Dude, since when you seen the police in the car like this?" I ain't say that though. I'm not stupid. I was like, "No." He's like, "I'm gonna ask again. You the police?" And I was like, "Nah, we good, man. Look, I'm good. Appreciate you. I think he up this way." And I just because you don't
like
want to get to
that.
the third question. You don't want the third question.
They're like that.
So yeah.
And the funny thing about it was he wasn't questioning you to see if you was the police. They didn't want to see how mad you was gonna get. Because if you got like really uber upset and everything, this conversation would have went a whole lot longer than what you was expecting. But the fact that you went, nah, man, I ain't the police. What you talking about? Nah. Oh, by the way, don't laugh and say that either, because that's just say no. Nah, I'm not the police. I don't know what you're talking. No, I'm not the police. But if you'd have got, man, what you talking about? I ain't no dang old police and everything.
Hold up, man. Who you yelling at, man? I'm just trying to talk to you. I'm just trying to talk to you.
Raising your voice at? Whoa.
And now you got 4 more people out there.
Hood talking all that. Yeah,
Nah, it don't even have to go that loud, because usually what happens is when if it get that loud, then you know that you're in an awkward situation. You're in danger.
And you're out
when they try to lecture you. Hold on now, baby. I was just trying to talk to you. You in my neighborhood. You're in danger now. So you in danger, okay? Because he didn't. There's a lot in what I just said to you. So yeah.
And if you're lucky, you get the old school person. If you're lucky, if not, I tell you do.
Well, this dude was kind of old school. He was young, but he was kind of old school in his ways. So
yeah, but you get the old school person who's just go look at you and just go, dude, I think you need to leave.
Yeah, this ain't the place for you, dog.
I need you to leave. Don't argue. Just leave. You're outnumbered. Telling you off the bat. You can drive down a dark street, don't see absolutely nobody. You only see one person come up to your house and come up to your car and ask you a question and everything else. You're outnumbered. Just because you don't see nobody, don't mean they're not there. You're outnumbered. You need to go. I don't want to hear about your liberties and your rights.
In fact, unless you're there to do something, don't let nobody come to your car.
Pretty much.
Roll.
Keep rolling. Why did you? Do you know how many times I've sat there and somebody has literally? This is how the hood life is. You know how many times people have sit there and said, "Why did he stop the car?" And you sit there and go, "Yeah, why did he stop the car?" Now that I'm old, I'm thinking because he was asking questions. When you young, it's like, yeah, why did you stop the car? Like, you don't stop the car.
Yeah,
was the car running? Yeah, the car was still running.
You need to know who you with, and be especially if you're in a new situation. Because, like, I'm a suburban kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not stupid. I done been around my cousins and my friends that have taught me enough to know how not to be stupid. You know what I mean? But I remember my boy was like, "Don't go to that gas station, and don't go to that bank." Like, that's where the jackers are. No, you ain't from here. You can't go to that store. And I don't care if you are from here, you don't go to that bank. And that's just what it was.
And we're still here.
You need a good tour guide. I have a tour guide.
That's what you do.
Ain't no different than when you go to a country club and your black ass ain't never been nowhere like that. You better ask somebody to vouch for you. It ain't safe. It ain't safe.
I'm trying to tell you, Anna, there's a lot of rules in the hood.
A lot of rules in the suburbs. Shit.
Well, that's our first hour. We're going to go into the second hour. Yeah, we're
dangerous in their spots, too.
Yeah.
Your hood ain't as they say, your hood ain't no more dangerous than mine. Your hood ain't no harder than mine. I don't care. We just got different rules.
Just different rules. Same rules, just different approaches. Because the rules is pretty much the same as why are you here?
Yeah,
it's the same rule.
That's true.
It's just a different approach to it.
Yeah. One is gonna call the cops, and the other gonna call them boys.
Yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference. That's the difference. That it is somebody getting called. Somebody getting called. Now it's either in blue or in black. Somebody getting called. We're going to go on into the second hour to reboot and refresh. Please, again, do not forget to hit that like button. I would truly appreciate it. We're doing a good job on the likes, but I want more. So we will see you on the other side to reboot and refresh. So stay tuned for Real or Nah and Foxy's videos of the week. Tune back in, please.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, finally, finally. I wanna be free, finally, finally. I wanna be free, finally, finally, finally. I wanna be free, finally, finally. I always say dreaming, never imagine I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, finally, finally. I wanna be free, finally, finally. I wanna be free, finally, finally, finally. I wanna be free, finally, finally, finally. I had to burn you. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally.
We are back. We are back. And we're just going to get right on into it. So we're going ahead and get on it really quickly. Please do not forget to go to TreacyMediaLLC.com, the Patreon page. Help support her. She has her Scavenger Hunt tomorrow. So please tune in for that, especially if you already paid tickets for it. Come and enjoy yourself. The Scavenger Hunt of 2022 is tomorrow. So please don't forget to tune in for that. Please do not forget to go to Thea's Patreon page, patreon.com complex mind. Help support him. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/radical truth to power, exactly as it's spelled. Capital R, capital T, capital T, capital P. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliAncetra.com. Learn something that you never thought that you didn't think that you needed to learn. Please do not forget to hit that like button. I would truly appreciate it if it's your type of content. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. We do a video every weekend and enough information to last you for the week. We have a show tomorrow and we have a show Sunday. So please look out for the posting of the times for tomorrow's show and Sunday show. Anna said, I'm going to lay
Right.
down.
Feel better.
Love you too, Anna. Take care of yourself. I'll keep this playing so the algorithm gods will get their strokes. Anna been hanging around us too long. Way too long. She was a sweet one. Don't know what happened. Are either of y'all college football fans? Tomorrow's going to be hype. It is the first day of the new season. I am, Parker, and but okay. I have one game that I want to watch, and that's Appalachian against NC State. That's a new local rivalry. So I'm only going to play that in the background. So am I a college fan? Yeah, am I the college fan that sits there and I'm ready and I'm gun ho and blah blah? No, I don't even do the NFL like that anymore. So no. And I'm not even going to tell you the reason why, because it's more political and social in nature. And come back Sunday, and I would love to explain it to you. But one, I only have one game tomorrow I want to watch, Appalachian State versus NC State. And two, I'm still a wrestling fan, and wrestling has a pay-per-view. Yeah, whatever. I've been a wrestling fan since I've been 8 years old, and wrestling, they're wrestling for the first time in 30 years in the UK. And since it's in the UK, it comes on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I have wrestling like darn near all day tomorrow and Sunday. Sunday is the 1 o'clock one. So I got plenty of time to watch wrestling. Then jump on for Radical Truth to Power. And then I have Monday off. Beautiful weekend. Plus, I have a couple of yard work things I got to do, but I'm trying to put that like in the back of my head so I don't depress myself.
Well, I'm very dispassionate about most things that I find entertaining, like as far as that are classified as entertainment. So sports is no exception for me. So I watch a football game the way I would watch a cartoon show. You know what I'm saying? It's just something for me to watch. Now, to the extent that I am partial, it's SEC football. None of the rest of the conferences matter. I'm going to try to learn
I love this dude. He knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, Clash of the Castle?
Yep.
I'm going to try to, now that they're going to let players get paid for their likes and image, their likeness and image, that should help us get some HBCU games on TV more. So I'll be watching those. And as far as a favorite team, it's Roll Tide, because that's my family. My family's from Alabama, so I had to pick a team, and I chose them. and that's about it. Because now, see, Marlon don't like to talk political, social, and all that stuff, but I don't believe that you can separate it, and I'm going to do it anyway. So here's the thing:
you can't do it until Sunday. We don't have time.
Tell me
for
what
that.
I can't do. You can put me on mute if you want to, but look,
No, because you know how to unmute yourself. You ain't fooling nobody. You already know how to unmute.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, look, tell me no grown ass man I can't talk. Look,
Man, hurry up there, man. We ain't got all night. You
you the one slowing me down. Now look. I'm actually trying to completely get rid of football, but not for the reason that Marlon talking about. Personally, I would like the whole sport to go away. That's just how I feel. And the reason for it is because of the damage that it does to young people. So for the sake of our entertainment, we sit here and enjoy a gladiator sport that causes irreparable harm to young people. We don't really think about it because we always focus on the ones who make it to the top. But we don't focus on the ones who have a serious injury that messed them up in little league, junior high, high school, college. There's so many options along the road that can cause you damage. And so that I find myself, I believe myself to be a very socially conscious person. So I'm like, I can't really, now that I know that, and I know the dangers of CTE, and I know how many players never make it big, so they never think that they have achieved anything because they didn't get to the real, the big lights, and they end up being kind of devastated in their personal lives. Knowing that makes it really hard for me to enjoy a game.
Okay, we've had this argument before, though.
What?
But when are you gonna put the responsibility on the individuals and start putting the responsibility on the sport? It's nothing that you say that the individual does not know going into the sport.
Not true.
Now, minus, because I agree with you on one point, and I agree with what a lot of people is doing. It is literally not allowing their children to play sports until they get to high school. And I agree, you people who cheer little 9 and 10-year-old people knocking the crap out of each other and think that's ooh and all and everything, you're disgusting. Seriously, it's not funny, it's not exciting, it's not entertainment. You're disgusting.
Well, no. Once again, just because it's not my take or taste, I'm not going to say that they're quote unquote disgusting. Because if you find the sport to be entertaining, then you are looking at. I mean, because here's the other side of it. You're watching your child learn about working in a group to accomplish a task. You're learning how to win and how to lose and still stay engaged. You're learning how to take pride in your physical appearance, your physical health, your physical attributes, your ability to read and psychology and use psychology in the game. There's so much that is good. But my thing is, for me, it doesn't outweigh the bad. So when you say, where do I put the responsibility on the individual? Yes, the individual has a role to play, but we're also up against a culture, a system, and it's also been designed and groomed in such a way that it is viewed as a very real way out. So I can't begrudge communities, and it's not just Black communities, and you can go through almost any sport except for the ones that have become elite, where you are trying, the few people you've seen that look like you and living the life you think you want, they did this thing, right? They sing, they rap, they play sports of some sort. When you're in school, who gets the most attention? When you're in school, who gets the prettiest girls? You know what I'm saying? When you're in school, who are the teachers let get away with things? So there's a culture that drives it all. So I don't place an individual generally bigger than a culture, because the culture can shape the individual easier than an individual can ever shape a culture, right? So that's where I come down on that, right? If you know better, do better. But if that's not your level of awareness, or if it's just not your belief, you're not going to feel like me. So I want the NFL to go. But that's just like wrestling. People who love wrestling, you enjoy the storyline, you enjoy the atmosphere, You enjoy the nostalgia, right? All of those things are very real for you. But you know how many of these wrestlers out here can't afford to eat? How many of these wrestlers are on drugs so they can deal with the physical pain that they end up accumulating just to break through? Most of them never break through. Vast majority of them don't get the little cute name. You know, right? They're a warm up act or whatever. Because I knew a dude who was like, he worked for the WWE, but he wasn't no named wrestler. Okay, so he had to pay his own way there, and he was always hurting. Something was always hurting, but he had dreams of, being that guy, right? But for those 50 guys, there's 2,000 of them that can't even smell the opportunity, and they're in serious pain. They done broke their neck, they done broke their leg, they done dislocated a shoulder, they done snapped a vertebrae. But we enjoy the show. And for my entertainment, I'm willing to look away from those other things.
I just think that where we're at right now, because I tried not to get into this, so I'm gonna get into it. Then I'm gonna try to get
political. You probably thought I was going to go the Kaepernick route, and I'm not. I went about social.
No. It was social. I didn't mean to.
I can't separate them. So sorry.
My only political thing that I was actually going to say is that I not political. It's still kind of social, but it is kind of political. Is you coaches out there who was really upset and bad for the name, images, and likeness, and these players getting paid in some kind of way and capacity, but y'all keep forgetting that y'all are the same individuals who will quit on a team. Quit, because y'all hate that word when it comes to the players. Y'all will quit on a team in the middle of the night. Not hyperbole.
For more money.
Several of you coaches have done it in the middle of the night while still in the playoffs, bowl game, whatever, and leave to go. And why did you go? Bigger paycheck, bigger fame.
Hmm?
Y'all do that. But y'all
look at my coach, Coach Saban. That man made more money, you know what I'm saying, than anybody could ever need. But he was one of the main ones talking about, no, we can't do this. It'll mess up the game. What?
No, it was a lot of them that was.
It was a lot of them, but he was
a main one. It was
because he's the big name.
Like, dude, you're in the millions. And I've said this for the longest time, and this is my only political take, and then we're gonna move on because we like already 30 minutes into the second hour where we did Jack. And I do have political things to talk about because I don't think Theus is going to be here Sunday, so I want him to get into the political spectrum so he don't miss out. I still have a problem with any millionaire trying to explain to anybody that's not a millionaire what's best for them.
Poor people tell millionaires what's best for them.
Yeah, and what do?
They ignore.
Okay.
But poor people have aspirations of being millionaires, so.
But the deal is, it's like the Elon Musk thing. When y'all go out y'all way to defend Elon Musk gonna give a rat's ass about you. Elon Musk don't know you, but you assume because you on Elon Musk's jock that he's gonna really like you, and all of a sudden just feel like giving you $1 million. With
they just
that ain't never gonna happen, ever.
Yeah, people like the virtue signal, bro. That's what we do.
It's just human. Funny to me. So going back to sports, these coaches who making, and not all of them. I'm not saying all of y'all are millionaires. A lot of y'all are not millionaires. A lot of y'all ain't going broke no damn time soon, though. I'm gonna tell you that y'all ain't going broke no time soon. Do y'all have the millions of Alabama, Clemson, North Carolina? Yeah, I get it. Big time programs. But you ain't suffering. You're not going to bed hungry after practicing. You're not going to bed hungry after practicing and studying. Because a lot of these students do take their education seriously. All of them not stupid. All of them know they're not going to the NFL. But it was just like an
But
episode.
this is their pathway. It's just
Yeah,
like when you
it
have
was like
someone
the
who
Fresh
joins
Prince
the
of
military.
Bel-Air. It was an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and the whole thing was the guy was playing Will Smith in the basketball game, and chances are whoever won the game was going to get the scholarship
scout
and
was
blah
there,
blah
yeah.
blah. And the guy literally just told him, "Look, I'm not stupid. If you gonna pay me to go to college to put a ball through the hoop, I'm gonna take it. But I'm going to be an engineer. Why? Because the chances of me making it to the NFL is slim to none."
I mean, that's true, but that's not if you're playing college ball on scholarship, mainly if you're there on scholarship, and especially if you had a big program, Ohio State,
Yeah,
Alabama, you know what I'm saying? You at these
Yeah.
big schools, right? Yeah, you going to school and you studying or whatnot and all that good stuff. But I don't know, I'm not them, but it's only natural that there's that part of you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's part of your fighting spirit. You're a true competitor at that point. But my problem is not that. My problem is the pipeline. That's my problem, because you're trading your possible health for a possible payout. And maybe you could say that about most things, but I have like military. I have deep love for the military. I'm an Army brat. If not for what my dad did, I couldn't, I probably wouldn't have the situation I have, right? But the trade-off was a young person. This happens all through the country, okay? The young person is trading time and possibly their life to be trained to become a trained killer who will operate at the behest of people who don't have their best interests at heart. But here's an opportunity to live better than they have been able to live, do things that they probably never thought that they would get a chance to do, learn skills that they never would have had a chance to get close to, and maybe even go to college, and maybe be able to help their mama pay for groceries. You see what I'm saying? There's so many things that these people will do, but you're literally trading your life for it. Okay.
It's a setup. It's a setup.
Right. So you're feeding off of overwhelmingly not desperate, that's not the right term, but a vulnerable population. For whatever reason, the population is vulnerable. Okay. And you're feeding off of it. And I don't like that, but it is life. So that's why if you are someone who joins the military for whatever reason you join, I support you in your decision. If you decide you want to go play football, and I support you in decision. You decide you want to go be a wrestler, I support you in your decision. But at the same time, I don't like what it's doing as a whole. So even though out of the three, I'd probably go in the military before I would have done any of the other two. But whatever. Yeah. I'm too small to play football and too small to play football.
Too small to play football.
That would have been terrible.
Not anymore, but back then.
I'm still too small to play football. You see them boys? Man. First time
you gonna be a running back. You gonna
first time a linebacker came through and hit me, I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna see you after the game. Them boys big. 6'6", 280 pounds. No.
And you think that first time they've heard you say, "I'll see you after the game"?
What about it? I see you. I don't care how big you are. I got something for you. I'm just saying.
You got legs to run. I ain't getting up.
Man.
I ain't finna roll up on you because you played a game.
That's why I ain't got no business at my undersized self trying to get up there with them big old boys. I'm not doing it. Do your thing. I wish you the best. Go for it. It's not me. I've always taken things too serious. It's not me.
What if the higher education was free and a football scholarship was not necessary to go to school?
then that'd be nice. But
that
depends on the school we talking about. Like if you're wealthy, it might as well be free.
That's
but yeah, no, I feel you.
That's being socialist and communist.
That's something they do in Europe.
And something else is something else. I don't know. It's 2022. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. They got terms. Probably a communist, like you said.
They got terms and stuff. Yeah. Real or nah? Okay.
Nah.
I want y'all not to pay too close of attention to the beginning. The beginning is not ignore completely because you have to pay attention to the beginning. Don't pay so close attention. It is sexual. Just tell you off the bat now. But I will tell you why I don't agree with the story, not because of the beginning of the story, but because of the ending of the story.
Let us hear the story. Come on, let's hear your little fake story. Come on. Roll your little fake story.
Oh, so you already said it's fake.
Let's roll your little fake story. Oh.
Okay, there you go.
Probably some little old lady stealing gumdrops.
You really don't want no little old lady in this story, trust me.
Red Eagle. Today I effed up by showing up to work early and catching my boss in an awkward position that should be a today I effed up of her own. In my industry, I'm paid purely by commission, so I don't have specific office hours that have to be followed. In order to hold myself accountable, I set an 8:30 to 5 office schedule that I typically adhere to. Sometimes I show up later than 8:30, but I never show up earlier. My office is located in a suite that contains a communal area with 3 office doors on one side of the room. The first door that you pass when entering the building is my manager's office, and my office is the second door. The third office belongs to an older employee who works remotely so we can social distance. But today, I decided to show up to the office early. My boss's car wasn't here when I arrived, but I didn't think anything of it. I unlocked the door as usual and entered the building. To my amazement, I was greeted by my butt-naked manager, a 46-year-old woman, sitting in her office chair with her legs spread wide effing open, just rubbing her problems away. She just about had a seizure when she noticed me, and I reacted in a pretty strange way. I don't know how I remained so calm, but I simply continued onward to my office after saying a quick, sorry, and sat down like nothing happened. Her office door has been closed ever since, and I have no idea what to do next. I'm actually writing this from outside the building because I was literally shaking in that cold building and I had to get out. And now I realize that her car is parked back here. What do I do? Things are going to be so awkward. And OP clarified that he's a 24-year-old guy. Okay, so on the one hand, I can't really blame the boss for doing this because, hey, that's just how some people start their days, right? Some people need their morning cup of coffee, other people need to fire off a warning shot before they go into work for the day. But still, doing it in the office is risky enough as it is. But why would you strip down completely naked and do it butt naked in your office? Why do it in your office? Why not go to the ladies' room and at least then you've got the privacy of the stall, or close your door? Like, there's so many safeguards this girl could have put in place. If she had come to the office, kept her clothes on, wore a nice work skirt and just hiked up her skirt and went to it while the door was closed and maybe locked, then she would have been pretty much safe because obviously if the guy came in and he started opening the door, then she could just pull her skirt back down and she'd be all set. I mean, probably a little flustered, breathing a little heavy, red-faced, sure, but it's a lot better than being completely butt naked in the middle of your own office on a work day. Also, OP, I kind of have to wonder if this story is real because I've watched lots of videos online of a coworker walking into his other coworker's office and his coworker is completely butt naked and in the middle of a carnal act. And in none of those videos does the guy just say, "Oh, sorry," and leave. It usually ends very differently. So are you sure this is what happened? And finally, OP posted an update. After leaving work, I drove back to the office and dropped a note through her mail slot that says, "I'm going to work on the road today. Don't stress. You've got nothing to worry about on my end. Enjoy your weekend." And what's so funny about this is OP's like, "Don't worry, your secret is safe with me." Then he immediately goes out to the parking lot to post this on Reddit, where it gets 53,000 upvotes and makes it to the front page of Reddit. But then a few days later, OP posted another update. I drove into work the next day, and my boss was waiting to talk to me, and it actually went really well. It started with me saying good morning, and I asked her if she had a good weekend. Her hands were covering her face, but she looked up, kinda laughed, and said, "Yeah, I did, after the embarrassment and stress passed." She then confirmed my suspicions about her just needing some alone time from her kids and busy home life. And also, she said that she never intended anyone to actually walk in on her. To which I responded, "It's all good. I know you didn't mean anything by it." We were both laughing by the end of it. Then we went on to just briefly discuss some work stuff, and I'm back in my office. It seems everything's back to normal, and we're just both waiting to forget that it ever happened.
I went on you.
It could be real.
Bullshit. Not a chance in the world.
Why not?
Not a chance. The ending. The ending
Is possible only from the standpoint of like the note, if that's how it went down, was like what saved the day.
Bull crap.
But like, no, so here you go.
Bull
All right,
crap.
no, walk you through it. All right. So first of all, she was sloppy because it was too close to 8:30 for her to be doing that. Second of all, what if she was wearing a romper or one of those one-piece outfits, right? So the only way you're gonna get to that area, unless you're doing it through your clothes, got to come off. So that's that part, you know. And she might be a small-chested gal, so she ain't had no bra on. So that would be why she looked like she was butt naked. Okay, so that is entirely possible. Then he walks by, he sees her, and he's like, "Oh, sorry," because for real talk, that might have been what I would say, because I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just walking by, and somebody, you know, and he's like in his mid-20s, she's in her early 40s. You know what I'm saying? He don't know what to say, so he said, "Oh, sorry," and he kept moving. So, like, to me, that's possible. And then these kids, especially these Zoomers, they put everything online, so I can see him doing that. And I'm, you know, I ain't in my life, I ain't never been on Reddit, so I ain't gonna see it. And so, I mean, ain't nobody saying that there's anything wrong with a woman our age, but I'm just saying, if that ain't your taste,
She talking about what I said that you should.
Oh, it's traumatizing. If you, yeah.
You should have locked the door unless she's in.
I'm gonna get
to that, Susan. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna let things finish.
I don't know.
I'm gonna get to that. Gonna get to that.
The problem I had there is that if she's a manager, she knows he comes in around 8:30. So anything close to 8 o'clock, she was in the red zone already. So that'd be like that, being sloppy. You know what I'm saying? You just know. And we didn't. I didn't.
Sorry.
You nasty. And then the door thing, she was in the moment, so she didn't hear him come in, right? So that can happen too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, hey, you know, it can happen. It can happen. And then I like the little note. The note was classy. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like non-confrontational, and it allowed her to be like, it clears the air without being super awkward, right? So then that's cool. And then after that, don't say nothing. Go handle your business away from the office, so she ain't got to feel all, you know, out of sorts because you're right there. And then you come back and you talk to her like nothing ever happened. She says that gives her the room to bring it up. She does, clears it, done. It's the perfect. That's the only part that could be fake, is the fact that it rolls a little smooth. But as far as a scenario, hell yeah, that can happen.
Okay. This is a complete lie. Yeah.
I'm surprised Tracy didn't just say that she wants to sleep with
beginning. You roll up to the job. You ain't been there in a while because you work by commission. I get that. I believe that's true. You don't see nobody's car. Get that too. You walk by your manager. your boss, doing what she doing, spread eagle, butt naked, door wide open, and everything else. First of all, that's some bullshit. Like the mood, I ain't never had no mood just come out of the blue all of the way and just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna do what I got to do and do it here and everything else. I don't give a damn if you having a straight jacket on. Chances are you closing the damn door. Now you're gonna be a little embarrassed if you hear the door open and somebody says, hey, how you doing and everything else, and you bubbling and fumbling around. But you ain't gonna leave the door wide open. You spread freaking ego on your desk. Just to
She was. He ain't say she was spread ego on the desk. You know what I'm saying?
He said that. Spread ego.
She would lean back with her legs out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Fiddling with a taco. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Okay. Door wide open.
Door wide open.
That's some bullshit. Second of all, this is what messed it up. The dude goes out. He has to write. He's cold all of a sudden. He's cold, so he goes back out to his car and he writes to everybody how his boss is rub her the right
entertaining herself.
Entertaining herself, and now he sees the car. Now you see her car. You didn't see the car when you came in. Now all of a sudden you see the car.
Her car wasn't up front where it normally would be.
So when did you not ever see the car? Because you said you didn't see the car, you parked your car, you rolled in. So now you telling me you jumped in your car and you drove somewhere else?
No.
To see her
I'm
car?
saying he came to his job.
Uh-huh.
And she normally parks in a particular spot.
Uh-huh.
She ain't parked there though. And then he continues to his normal spot. He ain't looking. This part is a little funny because at that point, why didn't you notice her car there? Unless it's like a huge like parking deck and there's all kinds of stuff going on. No, really, because like at my job, I park at the front of the building. But almost everybody else that I work with, they park down below, which has a different entrance coming into the parking deck. So if you park, I know every car that parks in my level. Like, you get to know the cars that park around you.
Yeah.
But when I go and park down a level, you don't know I'm there because my car is just another car at that point. You know, so it's like that part's feasible, but questionable.
Okay. Then you write the note, drop it in.
Now her door's closed.
I get that one. Cool.
He dropped it in a slot.
He dropped it in a slot.
I wonder if he licked it first. Because, it's better to lick it so that, before you stick it.
I knew he was going to do that. So I know I can't mute him, but I could take him off. So I knew I could do this. So we're going to get back to Theus's being absolutely disgusting.
All I did was.
Then we're going to move on to the fact that the ending was too smooth. And that's what bothered me was like, hey, how you doing? I'm fine. Just getting over it. Don't worry about it. Let's talk about work.
Yeah, what else you going to do? Is this what
we're going to talk about for the rest of the We're going to talk about you spread eagle. We have a separate topic.
No, we not.
Have a separate topic.
We're not talking about that ever again. That did not happen. I got the mentals. I got the mentals. You got the mentals. We ain't gonna talk. We ain't never gonna talk about this unless we ain't no unless we ain't never gonna talk about this.
She don't want to talk about no more.
He don't either because he brings it up. Now he didn't create a unsafe workspace because he can't prove with the other part.
Whoa! He sure did not.
Yes, he does. He does.
He did.
No, she did at first, but then if he's the one who then just makes sure he keeps bringing it up, now you're actually using like an extortion play on somebody And now he's the one who gets fired, not her, because nobody else saw what happened but him and her. So it's his word against his manager's word. So no, best move, drop it. Unless you're taking it to HR, drop it.
I'm not saying to bring it up. I'm just saying the ending was a way tad too smooth.
You don't want to have positive conflict resolution.
It wasn't gonna be no conflict. I'm just gonna be like,
that was conflict resolution. It was positive conflict resolution.
I've been embarrassed as hell, but when I would have been I would have got butt naked. I would have locked the door, but that door locking thing, that's why. Thank you, Tracy. I know it's hard for you to agree with me, so
no, y'all always agree on these things like this.
Molly, you can't logically ask, when did you not see the car? So, yes, I can. I literally can use logic.
He's supposed to play junior detective now that he went back to his car.
You rolled up, you didn't see her car. You read it, and you saw the car?
After he got to his.
What did you do? So you got in the car and moved.
No.
There's no way that you, all of a sudden, you got in the car. We're talking about 8:30. I don't know where you at. Not a lot of cars in my parking space at the beginning of the work because everybody has different hours, especially if you're in and how he's describing it as a building complex,
right?
Place that has been, so everybody's not working at. So the
my parking lot is full at 8 o'clock.
It's full at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
And you didn't see her car
because it's full.
And now you see her car
because he parked in a different. She parked in a different
spot. You got in the car and moved. Why did you get in the car and moved your car?
No. He stayed on his normal routine. Okay. She broke her routine.
Okay.
So driving to work, she normally parks there. Oh, she ain't here yet. Go to my area where I like to park and I park. I ain't thinking about nobody when I get out of my car. I get out of my car, I put my earbuds in, I make sure my music's playing, and I walk into my building. I ain't checking for no other cars around me. But then when he goes back to his car, oh, there's her car.
You don't, but okay, but you're treating this like this is a normal situation when he specifically said, I don't come in the office all the time.
No, he said, I don't come in. He said, if I come in, the earliest I'm going to come in is 8:30. But I ain't never coming in no earlier than 8:30. And this time he showed his butt up at 8 o'clock.
Anymore after this.
I don't think he will either. Unless he, got a little freak in him.
See? Tracy agreed with me.
Yeah, that's cool. That's you and Tracy.
I know, but Theas will just ramble on sick, disgusting things for hours on here.
Thank you.
Whatever. He didn't see the car every time except when he did.
Yep.
Thank you. He didn't see the car until now he saw the car.
Right.
No matter how many times that we go do this show together, we ain't never going to agree on these videos. Ever. We just
agreed a few times.
Not on these videos.
On the obvious ones.
Real or not.
We agree with the one with the silly girl with her boyfriend was an IT dude and bought her a house and jewelry, and she was. We talked about that. We were on the same page all the way through.
Oh yeah, because that's life experience. That was stupid. How do you think he was IT? You just assumed he was IT?
She said he was tech or something.
Foxy's videos of the week. All right, we're gonna go get into some political stuff. Cause like I said, I don't know if Theus is gonna be here Sunday. Really gonna miss him though, because we're gonna finally get into just to give you a heads up, we're gonna finally get into Trump and the whole
Yeah, y'all don't want me here for that.
whatever that was.
Y'all don't want me here for that.
I.e., they want you for that. So yeah.
Trump and the stuff going down with Biden.
Mar-a-Lago and blah
Y'all
blah
don't
blah
want
and
that.
everything.
Y'all
And
don't
you know
want
the
that.
funny thing about it, this is what pissed me off. The only reason I'm actually doing that show because I assume, hey, something else will come up before that even comes out, and nothing happened. So, I mean, Sarah Palin lost badly.
Yo,
That was-
on that note, yo, check this out, right? All right, you hear me? You hear me out there? All right, check this out, right? Sarah Palin is still fine. And
No, she
and-
isn't. Sarah
Yo,
Palin never
Sarah
been cute
Palin.
when she was running
yo,
earlier.
Sarah Palin, man,
Nope.
she still get the business. And then the lady who beat her, oh, she a cutie too. Not that any of this matters because it's all about their qualifications and their ability to do the job, of which Sarah doesn't have any of the ability. But
and you know what? I agree with you, Theus, and that's what makes them unattractive to me. And I get what you're saying. I get it. I do. I get it. Like people who talk about not is it Laura Boebert?
Lauren
And they
Boebert,
I sit there and say, and I'm
cute, but
looking
the
at
more I
her
look
and
at her, the
go,
uglier she get. You know,
and that's what bothers me so much is I look at them on any situation. Oh yeah, you fine. Hey, what's going on? And then you do stuff like this, and it's like,
but you know who never looks cute? Marjorie Taylor Greene. That woman looked like a
I always
Neanderthal.
thought Marjorie was cute.
Oh goodness,
I always
no!
thought she was.
Marjorie Taylor Greene looked like her daddy, her uncle, her grandfather, the dude up the street, and a Neanderthal. She looked like all of them. But it didn't. She got her mama hair though.
I always thought Marjorie Taylor Greene was cute. I was just like,
no.
Once I figure out, once I hear you, this has been me all my life. I have met some really cute girls. So I'm gonna tell you, going as far back as that. I have met some really cute girls, and then they talk, and it's like, I can't see myself dealing with you no longer than me looking at you, and I can't.
I'm intentionally being very superficial, just on their looks, right? Kind of like
my glasses
because you got a heavy glare on them. But
the heavy glasses.
I'm intentionally being superficial. Like for example, Joe Biden looked like he got butterscotch in his pocket.
Joe Biden is 99 years old. He does have butterscotch in his pocket.
Pete Buttigieg looked like a little kid. He just looked like a kid. That's what he looked like. He looked like a little kid. Who is it? Beto O'Rourke. It's a good looking country club looking kid. You know, he's a cute guy. He's a good looking dude.
He looks like, but he looks like country club though.
It's hard to pick out anybody. You know, it's hard for me to be like, what? But I'm just saying,
take my glasses because I said that Marjorie Taylor Greene was cute.
Oh.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is not a bad look.
Man, please.
I want you to separate the two things.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, if that's your taste, because everybody got their taste.
Okay, it's
that's
like
a
this.
manly taste.
That's like the girl that we saw.
Like she got no business being against the transsexual community. Is my thing. She got no business. She should be a natural ally, and I'm offended.
And
they don't want her either.
I say that about Laura Boebert though. I sit there and look at her, and I look at her body, and I'm like, wait a minute, did you own a gym and you talking crap? Like, this is your audience.
But see, man, anyway. Whatever your taste is, that's your taste. But Marjorie, like, I'm with you in the standpoint of the more you interact with somebody, the less attractive they can become, right? But that's like why a person can be like an 8 in my book. Aesthetically, a person can be like an automatic 8 if they just that fine. But they're not gonna hit 9 and 10 because I need personality for you to ever be that type of thing.
I literally always look at, can I hold a conversation with you? And when I realize, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, there are shows out there that I support. I support for family, friends, whatever. To be engaged in it is hard for me because the subjects that they have, that's not my style. So I'll support you, the person, but what you're saying and what you're doing, I can't support because I quite honestly, one, don't understand it, or two, don't care.
Yeah, I feel you.
That faze me.
Right,
And
right.
I look at I just look at people like that the same way. It's like, if you're real cute, you're gorgeous, you're fantastic. I guarantee you I will never ever hold a conversation with you because I don't understand what the hell you're talking about.
Oh yeah, that's like people who are really in the entertainment news. I'm not there. I'm not gonna get there with you. Like I don't care what Usher did. But that is not going to diminish your appeal to me unless you're like really into it. Like if you really like into that mess stuff, or you really into messy TV.
I tried, honey, but Theus is talking. And
wait, hold up, man. You brought me. Well, actually, I did this. Never mind.
No, you did this. Don't get salad now. Go ahead and finish.
You ain't gonna do that, but wait later. So you can play the video.
Hey, Holly.
Hello.
Hell, Mom, I was just typing as you said that meet someone, think they're gorgeous, get to know them, they get less handsome. Meet not attractive, but a person, they get better. It is. It is something about them that changes about them. It is.
Nah, the reason why that last one get more attractive because it's easier to look at something once you get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Beauty may be only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just.
Okay, I'm going to the videos. Things I don't know if this is your guy or not. I really don't know, and I can't even remember.
Ted Cruz.
Fuck Cruz. I don't know this, but he's just really going off on this person, and I really enjoy it because I'm sick of idiots.
All right, listen, B.O.B., once and for all. The Earth looks flat because, one, you're not far enough away at your size. Two, your size isn't large enough relative to Earth to notice any curvature at all. It's a fundamental fact of calculus and non-Euclidean geometry. Small sections of large curved surfaces will always look flat to little creatures that crawl upon it. But this whole thing, it's just a symptom of a larger problem. There's a growing anti-intellectual strain in this country. It may be the beginning of the end of our informed democracy. Of course, in a free society, you can and should think whatever you want. And if you want to think the world is flat, go right ahead. But if you think the world is flat and you have influence over others, as would successful rappers or even presidential candidates, then being wrong becomes being harmful to the health, the wealth, and the security of our citizenry. Discovery and exploration got us out of the caves, and each generation benefits from what previous generations have learned. Isaac Newton, my man, said, if I have seen farther than others, it's by standing on the shoulders of giants.
Look, check this out, man. I like Neil, but damn it, I ain't came out no damn cave.
Didn't say you. Didn't say you.
Just saying. He said since we came out the cave.
Every generation since we came out the cave.
My people ain't came out no damn cave.
Pretty sure, yo.
No.
Damn cave. What your people come out of?
Nope.
Where did they come out of?
Show me the damn caves in Africa. Show me. Where the damn caves at? Where the caves at, bro?
The fuck you think the damn diamonds came from?
The who?
Where do you think they going into?
They dig that shit out of the ground. Anyway. Here's the thing, though. None of his points were like, whoa! Like, yes, it's Neil. But none of his points are
Thank
like,
you.
whoa, that wasn't, he didn't hit any of those notes like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was for the video, so they, played it up.
Yeah, they hyped up
Yeah.
some of the statements that he was saying. It wasn't really
his points
trying
were
to
good.
being
Points were
shot
good,
at.
Yeah. But they weren't like his points were good, right? That's all I can say. Because for a flat earther, everything he said, it didn't matter. But what I heard a real comic, right, say something on those kind of lines, right? And he was basically saying he misses the days when the people who weren't smart recognized they weren't smart. So they didn't say anything. They just did their own thing and let the smart people help. Now we have the people who don't know anything telling the smart people that they're wrong for being smart. See, but if you know your history, it's a cycle. And I don't mean no offense to anybody, but I'm just talking about cycles. But we right back at how America kind of was kicking off, okay? Because up there in Boston, when they were sitting there, decided they were going to do Blair Witch, and they were going to kill somebody, and they're like, you're a witch because you understand something about science. So the stupid
And
have
this is
always
the thing.
been the dangerous ones.
And this is the thing that irks me. And like I said, if anybody knows me from these shows, my one pet peeve has always been hypocrisy. Always been that. It will bother me probably now, because it didn't bother me until recently, until the last 3 years. At least the last 3 years. These same people who go out of their way to tell you you're not as smart as you is, no, that's wrong, science is wrong, blah, 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 everything else, so on and so forth. You are the same people who will break your neck and go out of your way to enjoy the fruits of the science.
Yeah.
The shot is wrong. Don't take the shot. Just go out and jog around the block a couple of times and eat oranges all day and everything else.
As you drive in your
damn
car.
well you went and got the shot. You
As you
know
drive in
damn
your
well
car.
you went and got the shot.
Yeah.
The same people who 5G is going to take over our brains and take over us, and they're going to do this, that, and the other, and everything else. And the first thing you did as soon as you got enough money is to make sure that your phone has a 5G. Hey,
But
Karen,
get this.
how you doing? Because you're the person that I'm talking about.
But Marlon, on the other side of that, right? Because you got that's what you kind of touched on was a lot of the Trumper conservative people, right? But then you also had the latte liberals, right? Everyone should stay home because it's dangerous outside, and make sure you wear your mask. And why isn't my Starbucks open? I need my Starbucks. They can close the lobby, but come to work and serve me my latte. Right? So it's
These people lost their mind when Starbucks went happy holiday on their cups. And you didn't slow down a red cent. You just went in there and argued and fussed and fight, and then you gave them the money. Why do you think he was ignored? Because I'm pretty sure it came down from corporate of just let them talk. Just let them talk. Just let them talk. Because they're spending money.
I don't know, man.
I'm going to come in here and I'm going to fight you on everything that you're doing wrong. Now, give me my product. Here's the money. Y'all are sick. See you next week.
Yeah. I mean, look at what happened. Look at what happened with. Now it was mainly the Republicans, but it wasn't just them.
Have a good night, Tracy.
It was mainly Republicans, but it wasn't just them, right? With the student loan forgiveness, right? And they're like, well, why should my money go to help pay for somebody who went to college? I didn't get to go to college. All right, check this out, man. Do you not understand how taxes work? Do you you not understand how anything works? Do you obviously do not care that you don't want to forgive $20,000 for Gretchen, but it's okay to forgive $5 million for Gates, right? So it's like these people, it's not, for a lot of them, it's not even a matter of hypocrisy because they haven't even formed a coherent thought. So
here's the funny thing about people who use that argument. My tax dollars, and I always wanted to just look at them and go, which do you really think you're the only person in this country that pay taxes? Like, are you serious with your argument? Like, you really think your little $1,000, and trust me, I'm really pushing $1,000. I know it's in the hundreds. I'm just being nice. You really think your money?
Yeah, your money.
You're the only one in this country that pay taxes. And you figure that the people who also pay taxes don't want what the government is giving.
Only thing people are worried about is, do I personally get to share in this particular situation? And if I don't, then I'm against it, especially if my team is against it. If my team says that it's wrong, then it's wrong. And that's all there is to it. Like, oh, that became acceptable about a year ago.
No, because what we got to do, Mickey, is we don't do 1,400. What we do is percentage. At the very beginning of COVID, even when the numbers were sky high, there was never we lost thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. It was it's only 1%. Because these people clearly thought that COVID was the flu. So they would equate COVID with flu. And they would take 4 years of information to equate one season of COVID. And we've lost more people from the flu than we have lost from COVID. Now, funny thing about it is they're going to ignore the 1 year that COVID was really bad and everybody was wearing their masks because they were sick of dying. And they discovered that not only did the COVID numbers drop, flu illnesses drop. But let's go ahead and ignore that. I'm sorry, Theo. Go ahead.
I was going to take it from a different angle, man. I'm like, the reason why 1,400 people dying every day is not a problem is because people aren't scared anymore. See what I'm saying? That's the only variable that changed. When we were afraid and you were losing 1,000 people a day, it was a big deal because we were afraid. But the American population, the global population, but truly the Americans, we don't have the attention span, man. So now the only people who are generally dying are people who have comorbidities, are in rural areas where they can't get care.
Yep.
Never got the first shot.
Yep.
So their body is taking on this mutated strain, cold turkey, so no one's looking at them. See, once the rich and the powerful and the connected and the people who were the engines of industry, once they were no longer afraid, is no longer a problem. And then the fact that they had to get these kids back in school. See, these kids being out of school was a problem. So now the kids are back at school. You got the parents back at work. The GDP is doing its thing. You got unemployment doing its thing. The political season is swinging. Trump is no longer there messing everything up. No longer, you don't have to be scared anymore. And that's kind of where we are. I don't know what happened. So here's what we're gonna do, right? This quick, brief intermission. Hey, y'all, most of you are people who help support our various projects, myself, Tracy, right? On mine, I'm trying to figure this out because I don't know where my brain was at, folks. I don't know why I decided to try to buy heaters in winter. that doesn't seem like the smartest play. So I'm trying to figure that out. So I would love like other ideas that I could probably do, because remember this is going to end in January, so we could take care of it in February. Or if y'all would toss me like if you think it'd be cool to just scratch that, and then all the money just continues to go to the school project, and it'll just be a head start on next year. I don't know. Let me know. Marlon's back. Let's go.
What are your ally opinion on the ethic involvement something like Amazon Prime? Well, we know that workers are incredibly exposed, but many of us still heavily participate in giving the company money.
Excellent question.
It is an excellent question, and here is my answer. We live in a society. We live
it's
in
okay, baby.
Keep going, baby. We live in a society where we complain and moan and groan about things that we benefit from. Amazon, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Uber, Lyft. We have this thing where we will complain about things that we benefit from. We don't have the ability, and this is harsh, but I've seen it for too long. We don't have the ability to sustain from these entities that we know is in the wrong. Amazon did a great thing unionizing. We will support unionization. We want unionization to spread further across this country.
Or do we?
We do.
Do we?
We do.
Do we?
We do.
Because if it spreads all the way across the country, your overnight delivery and 2-day Prime, you can kiss that goodbye. Now,
No,
man, please. No, because here's the thing. As a delivery person, see, there's a problem with Amazon. This is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying.
Go woke. This is equivalent of you go woke, you go broke. No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's a convenience thing. So here's the thing. Amazon doesn't have its own deliveries. Okay? They use independent contractors. Okay? So you start unionizing, you're going to start having to employ people. So Amazon ain't going to like that. So when they do that, they have to ease up. They can't exploit these drivers like they do right now. So then it makes it way harder to do this overnight and 2-day delivery, because that's the problem. That's a huge part of the problem on that end of the supply line, right? On the delivery side, these people are run so tight with so many deliveries that they can't take care of themselves, right? And if they get hurt, they got to continue through the job because you're a contractor. Ain't nobody trying to help you out. They'll just discontinue your contract and somebody else will have your spot before you even get home. Okay, so that's that. Well, if you unionize that end of the leg, well, now you have to give people more breathing room. You got to give people more breathing room. You're not going to keep that pace up. You just can't. That's why you're giving them room. And then on inside the warehouse, you working them human beings like machines. Well, unionize those, because that's where the unionization is really happening. Unionize those. Well, that process slows down just a little. It ain't gonna slow down a lot, but it slow down just a little. Well, now less, huh?
Go ahead. No, I'm listening.
But now less of it's making it. So you're slowing it down along the way to make it better for human beings. Well, welcome to not just America, the global community. What would you do if you had more money than you could ever lose, and you're a technology-driven company? I'll tell you exactly what I would do, and I love taking care of people. I'm a big bleeding heart. Bet money I'd automate the mess out of the fulfillment process.
They're doing it now.
Thank you. So I'd automate that so hard that you don't have people. It'd be like going to the Ford Motor plant. You ain't got people in there. You got IT people. You got engineers because their job is to keep the machines running. So that's why I was saying, like, yeah, we say we want certain things, but at the end of the day, we hate being inconvenienced. We hate it.
And this is what I say to that. Amazon is going to slow up. But I'm not looking at Amazon. I'm looking at the American people. And the American people, in their hearts of hearts, are just some lazy bastards.
Lazy, selfish.
And the point of the matter is the reason why Amazon blew up the way it is because they flat out told you everything that you go out, minus food, because I'm sorry, Amazon, y'all bought Whole Foods and y'all still suck at delivery. Publix is fucking better than y'all. But still, that's not my point.
Other than the grocery store, you ain't really got to get out your car. You ain't got to leave your house.
So the point of the matter is Amazon probably will go from 1 day to 2 day to 3 day. And I'll even push the 3 day.
They might do that.
No. I'll give you the week. And the American people, I'm pushing it for the week. I know, I'm pushing it for the week. And in the week, I mean 5 days. I'm pushing that because even after that certain point, we're talking about the American people. It's like 5 days. Oh my God.
I'll go get it myself.
Yeah, I'll go get it myself. Yeah, I'll try to get mine. 4 days. Perfect number. 4 days. Because y'all, we're talking about the American people.
I don't think we can go more than 3. You done taught us. You done gave us too much candy. We ain't.
I know. The American people whole equation for Amazon was, I don't have to leave my house. I just don't. I see something, I want it, I order it, I sit on my ass and I wait for it. As sad as it is, that's the equation. That's the business plan. I know we can get into the technicalities and everything else of how it gets done, but that was the business. Mm-hmm. How can I get to my customers without them leaving the house and all they got to do is open a damn box? Mm-hmm. Unionization, move your 1 day, and again, I pushed it to 5 days. But we know it ain't gonna be 5 days. So I'll meet things in the middle and say 3 because even after thinking about it, I think 4 is like, shit, I can go get it myself.
Yeah, you say 4. I heard 5. That's what I heard.
That's what I heard. The 4th day, what time? What time on the 4th day? 5 o'clock, I'm out of here.
Yep.
That's all I think about unionization is that they're going to sit there and by the way, they're going to make a big deal about that. They're going to make a big deal because you're used to overnight and the next day and everything. Now you're going to have to wait 3 days. They're going to make a big deal about that. Folks, it's still 3 days. You still ain't got to leave your house. It's still going to be on your porch when you get home unless you live in the pro neighborhood and then it won't be in there. But you know what I'm saying. So I agree that to answer your question, unless we get the balls, and we don't, not this generation, to actually sit there and tell corporations, we're not going to deal with your BS. And we have done that for a week. For 2 weeks, and I'm pushing
individuals.
Seriously,
individuals can do amazing things.
That's why I laugh at people that you go woke, you go broke. No, the fuck they not. Do you not think they have not gone through this before?
They say that because it's a motivated group. You know, I mean, and it's all sloganeering anyway, because once they realize that what the NFL did with the black people was bad enough, all of a sudden corporations were like, "Yeah, we're pro black," but then they knew it would die out before they actually had to, write the checks. And look at the abortion thing. Now, this one I think will actually roll into next year, but it'll start to die off too, you know. But going back to like what we were actually talking about, like me, Walmart. I ain't shopping at Walmart. I haven't shopped. I think my wife, well, I know my wife still shops there, but she just has a different viewpoint than me. Me, I ain't shopped at Walmart in at least a decade. I ain't buying nothing from you, right? Because I don't like how you treat your people, you know? But I still buy stuff from Amazon because it's real addictive. That stuff is, you know what I'm saying? And then like I got friends who work at Amazon because everybody got somebody who work at Amazon now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's ways to justify what you're doing.
I've been for a while.
Right? So it's all that. And then at the same time, man, it's like you gotta choose how you're gonna engage, because you can't engage in everything. You know? I would personally like to see rolling what's it called? When you rolling boycotts, right? But the only way you can have a rolling boycott is you'd have to have an organizational structure big enough to galvanize people to make it work, and we just ain't gonna do it. So,
and I agree with you, Parker. We should be willing to sacrifice 2-day shipment for their workers to be, and I agree, and I can. It
they can have it.
I don't go out like that. I just don't. I'm in a van. It's hot. I'm in traffic. You're not gonna see me go, what you doing after work? Hey, let's go to such and such store. That's not me. I use Amazon. So if you're telling me that I'm gonna get what I want, and believe me, again, I want y'all to remember what I'm saying. Amazon is going to make a big, huge freaking deal about this, because that's their only card that they have. They're going to make a big deal that you went from 1 to 3 to 4 days. They're going to make a big deal about that.
Yeah.
And that's the only card that they have. And that's a sacrifice you can make. Like, did you really need your shampoo the next day? Because
you ain't smelled the shampoo.
I don't need no shampoo out there. I'm good. Next video. Yeah, this was a bad question to Stacey Abrams. You really need to do your research.
My question is, why are you encouraging people to break the law for you in this election?
Mr. Kemp, you are very aware that I know the laws of Georgia when it comes to voting. In fact, I am one of the foremost experts in the state on expansion of voting rights. And I have never in my life asked for anyone who is not legally eligible to vote to be able to cast a ballot. What I've asked for is that you allow those who are legally eligible to vote to allow them to cast their ballots. And in fact, we took you to court in 2016, and a federal judge said that you illegally canceled 34,000 registrations. You use the exact same system, the exact match system that is under dispute right now. Now, I realize that in the next response, you're going to say that it's a function of my organization, because your tendency is to blame everyone else for the mistakes that you make. My responsibility as a leader is to see a problem and try to solve it. When I saw that we had 800,000 unregistered people of color in the state of Georgia, I started an organization that has reached into every county and increased those registrations. When I saw that people were being unlawfully denied the right to vote, I worked to make certain that we held you accountable. And as the next governor of Georgia, I will continue to do my job to make certain that every legally eligible vote that gets cast gets counted.
Ms. Abrams, thank you.
Don't be coming for Auntie like that.
I just like,
he was all smug about it.
And let me tell y'all something.
I love it.
Everything that she said was scripted. Everything that she said was scripted. That's worse. That's worse for Kemp. It's so worse for Kemp because they knew that question was coming. Do you understand what I'm telling you? That you're so predictable that they already had a script for what you was going to say before you even said it.
But it's still running up the score.
Ain't they about close?
No, I'm not saying her and him. I'm saying what they represent. So you got Kemp, who represents the Republican, conservative, whatever group, and they're running up the score. Now, right now, they're starting to take a few losses, right? But they're taking losses in areas they can really stand to take a few losses, but it's still like you would think if one person is trying to sell you shit and the other person is trying to sell you apples, you would be like, I think I'd rather buy apples. I'm not a big fan of apples, but I think I'd rather buy apples than buy shit. But instead, what people are doing is saying, if I buy the shit, I can fertilize 8 trees. But if I buy the apples, really, they came from trees, and trees came from the ground, and the ground was fertilized with shit. So really, apples are just like shit. And so that's where we are, Marlon. We are where people have decided apples and shit are the same thing.
We are the group, and I'm just going to go off your analogy. We are the people. They are the people who would tell you that the shit is more, is greater for your long term.
Yes, you can grow a whole orchard.
You know how much you can grow from shit
with this quality shit. This is good old American made shit.
That's
some GMO. Them GMO apples.
Not China shit. China got
good old American.
China got too much shit in there.
Marlon, those are Fuji apples. You want some Japanese apples, or do you want some American shit?
Buy American. What's wrong with you?
You're
born in America. Buy American. Speak American. Not joking. Somebody literally said speak American. Speak American. Buy American and something else to that matter. The fact of the matter is,
that's the world, man.
That is. And your argument is so predictable. And I've said this on this show before. I don't have a problem with what the things that the right says. I don't. The only reason I don't have an issue with it no more is because y'all say the same shit. And that in and of itself what bothers me. You have not come up with anything brand new. Wait a minute, I want to see if I actually got that
Up
video.
until now, it's been working.
And it's not anymore.
If it wasn't,
think that you would be
real
smart
talk,
enough to sit there and go, I would come up with something new, and you're not.
It would still be working if the Supreme Court had not overturned Roe. That is what changed the game.
But now we have another issue because now we have these Republicans coming out telling everybody, I made the wrong mistake. I didn't know. And
they don't mean none of that.
I'm still pissed off at I didn't know this was affecting real people.
But it doesn't matter because here's the thing. You can say that and that'll work for the people who are already on your side. Okay? And only for a group of them. It won't work for all of them. But for the women who lost their rights, for the men who care for women who have lost their rights, I don't care how sorry you are because it's gone. You see what I'm saying? The only people listening to these weird sob stories are the same people. It's the people who are on their side but on the fence, right? They just need somebody to give them a reason to hold tight. That's
I agree. I'm agreeing with you 100%. If I did say it last night, I'll say it now. You can be sorry what the hell ever you want to. I don't care anymore. You still voted for it, and now you come out here and you get your little pat on it, like in the video I showed yesterday. Oh, that's so sad that you feel sad. I don't give a fuck that you sad. Technically speaking, without going into a whole hyperbole of what really going on in your life and everything, I'm not going to do that. I don't know, nor honestly at this point I care. I don't care that you feel sorry. You fucked up somebody else's life. Period. We're done. Put a period at the end of the sentence. You did that to feel good about yourself by controlling somebody else.
But here's the thing, though. This is why all of the media. I mean, I know there's like different, but as an entity, okay. This is where they fail. This is where they fail because it's all about money for them. It's all about money. But here's the thing: why aren't you just being like this? I'm sorry. I didn't at the time. We knew there would be some unintended consequences and some negative impact, but that story breaks my heart. And this story breaks my heart. And my heart goes out. Okay, well, Senator so-and-so, if the Democrats put forth a bill to codify a woman's right, will you vote for it? They will have to say no. Because what they're going to say is, well, I can't sit here and legislate in the streets, okay? Because there's a lot more to it. Yes, there are bad things happening, but, we still have the issue of the sanctity of life and blah, 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 blah. But the media won't ask the follow-up question. They don't ask that question. If the bill comes out today, where are you? Make them keep holding their feet to the fire. Make them keep saying it. Do it to the Democrats too. Do it to all of them. If it came up today, since you said it was so bad, where's your vote? We lost you, Marlon. I can't hear you.
Sorry. Mickey, I go exactly what you said, because the people who are voting for this bill, and I ain't gonna say majority of the men, but the funny thing about it is men have no damn business voting for this shit at all.
I disagree.
For what?
No, so here's where the reason why I say I disagree. Because, and why I disagree is the very reason why there's a problem with Mickey's statement. Even though what you're saying is 100% true. People care less when it's not them. Okay? That doesn't mean they don't care. I'm saying they care less when it's not them. Okay? So, men, you can't tell men that they can't have any voice whatsoever because they are still part of the life of that child. Okay? Ooh. So, if you come out and say that up front and you just say, hey, no men allowed, don't say nothing, just shut up and get out the way, you have created enemies out of people who could have been your friends. So that's why I'm saying that part doesn't really flow too tight. But we should not be the ones sitting there making all the decisions. You see what I'm saying? But let's not pretend, because people like to pretend that it's all a bunch of men doing this. There's a bunch of men who made the vote because the Congress is broken and the American population is broken to where they don't like to see women in authority. But women voted for that shit. Okay? Women went to the polls. They march, they petition, if they're in office, they voted for it. Okay? Let's not pretend that they're all in lockstep. That's like saying that all black people are down for the black agenda. They not.
No.
So yeah, so it's like, yeah, we shouldn't be the ones making the decisions, but you can't lock us out either.
I guess what I was saying was I have an issue with men having a vote in a situation where there's no consequence to them.
Right. I think if you're going to say that women do not have their full bodily autonomy when it comes to their reproductive system, because that's what we're really saying, right?
Yes.
Now we're getting stuck on abortion, but it's not just
with the body autonomy. Yeah,
it's like all the stuff that happens, but it's the bodily autonomy and their reproductive rights. Okay, so if you're gonna take it away from women, then take it away from men. Make it so that I can't decide, you know, to have a vasectomy. I can't decide to buy condoms. I can't decide anything. Take all that away from me too. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. Okay.
and that is my issue. Is I agree with you.
Get rid of the what you call it, the Viagra's and all them.
Yeah, I agree with you that, hey, man, you may have a right to vote your feeling. However, I have to question your feelings about this subject when there's no consequence to you.
Right.
But the whatever your way of voting is only going to affect 50%.
Well, actually less, because women are like 53, 54%.
Well,
check this out.
I'm just saying it's only going to affect the women.
It's only hitting this side.
It's going to affect you regardless of how you vote.
Right. It indirectly affects us. Directly affects them. Right.
Yeah.
But you can't use that particular logic though, only because it doesn't hold up when you cross into other areas. So are you going to make what kind of carve out do you make for as far as like black the black agenda as far as reparations? Do white people just need to shut up and let us vote for it ourselves, right? Or what about when we start talking about the tax code? Do the rich people need to shut up and just let the poor people make all the decisions? You see, so it's like you can't. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That word. That word. No. The one before that one. Slaves.
Slaves.
Right. So unless you're being sex trafficked, that's a tough word that's being used to intone other things. And that's a trigger from me. I know what you're saying, but that's a trigger for me because a slave literally has no rights to their body.
And Susan, you got to admit, when you sit there, you cannot put sex slaves and vote for. No.
No, she's saying female slaves of the patriarchy, meaning that men are still overriding their power to still exert their will. Like basically, women have been reduced to a commodity. I get it.
When you say slave,
right,
and you say voted for, and I'm like, no,
slaves don't get the vote.
Get the vote. That's the point of being a slave. You're not getting a vote.
Right.
They're not going to be nice enough to go, hey, we're going to rule over your life, body, mind, spirit, whatever. But we're going to vote. Now you to vote for what you want.
Right. That's just the thing. And like I said, I'm triggered by that term because I get my butt up on my shoulders, as they say, whenever our experience generally, I mean, we're not the only ones that were slaves, but we're the only ones that were slaves in America. But when you use another group's trauma to push your personal agenda, and I know agenda has been tainted to where it's almost treated like it's a bad thing to use the word, but it's not. An agenda just means this is your plan or what you're after, right? But that's like when people like to trigger Hitler or trigger Nazism to just push that just push it over the edge about how bad Trump and his crew are, right? You're intentionally taking a horrible event to make it more serious for the urgency of another. And that bothers me. All right. And plus, The women's rights struggle, my goodness, how many times have they co-opted Black women to fill the ranks and then walked away from it? The women's movement, they right there to talk about how Black women helped save the election, but they not right there making all that same noise to make sure that women have equal health outcomes in the hospitals when they're giving birth to babies. They're right there talking about voting rights and having the ability to vote. Got real quiet when the Black women's sons were being railroaded into prison. Yeah, all right, yeah, we can run down this. Let's do this. So, yes, I was triggered, and I, like I said, slavery is not exclusively a Black American issue, but we in America, and slavery has a specific connotation in America, and the problem that we dealing with women's rights in America is what we talking about. So, yeah, that's why I get triggered on that particular scope. You know what I'm saying? So
I wouldn't even take it that route. You said slavery. When you're a slave,
you don't have
you
rights.
don't get a vote on jack squat. That's the point of you being a slave. It's not a democracy when you're the slave. I don't care what color you are. Do you think when you think in the colonization times when you had the woman, the maid, or the butler who was paying off debt, slavery, and then
indentured servitude was very close to it.
Servitude got a vote on anything that happens in that household. No, you don't get a vote. You don't get a ruling. You don't get jack squat.
You don't even get paid. It's just
you don't
in theory
get
your
paid.
debt's going down. That's all.
That's all it is. So that I wasn't going for black and white and all that other stuff. I'm going for the fact that slavery, and that word means your rights are gone until you are no longer a slave.
They're gone in total.
The color. You're a non-existent. You are a servitude to us until you are no longer a slave. You have no voting rights on absolutely nothing. Zero.
But reaching past my triggered state, I do follow what you're saying. Like I said in the beginning, I do follow.
I get the
because
point.
Like the patriarchy is not just a bunch of men. It's also those who support that particular mindset, right? Kind of like racism isn't always white people. You got black folks who push racism, who push white supremacy all day. You know,
and
so
by the way,
I'm with you, Susan. I am with you.
When I even use colonization, you know, just going off of what Theus was saying, I don't think the wife was not just like not down with the
honey, let them all go.
Yeah, like it's not, you know, it's not a man thing. It was like, don't think the wife was not sitting there going, yeah, you need to go ahead and make my dress. And
I can't remember the term, but they actually created a term so that when white women were killing black children because they were beating them too much, so it wouldn't be a crime. Okay, but that's another discussion. That's a whole nother thing. But like I said, it's not to diminish the fact that your right, the way Roe being overturned came through, it made it so by law, a woman is there's always a lack of parity, but you're literally not equal anymore. Like literally. Like if you were going to quantify it, we took 30% of your identity and said, you know, so, but, you know, that's how we get into the weeds, you know, and that's how you end up with allies and friends at each other's throats because we hit the wrong chord or we hit the wrong term at the wrong time and we get our feelings hurt and all that good stuff. So, you know, it's cool. I don't expect to be I promise you I'll never be a perfect ally. So I don't expect you to be either. That's why we had these conversations and these discussions. And we keep pushing.
And by the way, please keep them coming. I told you this is not going to be that show where we're just gonna, hey, you're effing or effing effer. No, we learn from each other. You have a statement, I have a statement, Theas have a statement, everybody has a statement. We all come together and everything else. And if we don't agree at the end of it, it is what it is. We ain't got to agree on everything. Did I just pick on Theas sitting there and tell about we don't agree on any of the stories that come out? We never agree on it. Theas all, yes, we did. And honestly, I don't remember us ever. Well, we did. We did.
And at the end of the day, we're all a collection of random genetic code on a rock hurtling through space.
Americans don't mean the U.S. nation state to me. Agree.
Well, what does the U.S. Constitution and the protections of Roe v. Wade, where does that one fall in? Is that not like now we see? I was with you, Susan. I was with you, and maybe because there's a delay, I don't want to depart. But that's semantics. We both know what country we're talking about.
I see your point, Theas. Give me another word.
I think just take the slavery part out. You're probably good. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact is, your rights.
I was going to say servant. I would just replace it with servant because that's what you are.
They are kind of making you a servant to the state if you get pregnant, right? So you have to first get pregnant for however it comes to be. Yeah. Then the state comes in and says, we own you now, right? We run this part of your life. Go, right? So there's a triggering event and all that good stuff. But I mean, use the words you want. Just know that when you use the word slavery, I'm gonna say something. But I'm not here to tell you what to say. I'm telling you how I feel about what you said. Yeah. I think people should say what they want to say.
All right, we got 2 more videos, and
I still got 2, man.
I'm tired of this crap, and you won't shut up. You ain't gonna be here Sunday. You got plenty of time to rest. Oh my gosh. I hate that I even have this video because we just talked about it.
This is delicious. Do you remember in January when a judge in Florida told a 17-year-old girl she couldn't get an abortion, and one of the deciding reasons was her GPA? Her B average GPA meant she wasn't smart enough to decide for herself whether or not she was ready to be a parent. Anyway, luckily she won her appeal in February, but that judge was Jared here. This guy right here. Why do they always look like that? You know he has a weird relationship with his mother. But anyway, in Florida yesterday, Jared who just thought he could control women and tell them what to do with their bodies and not let them make a decision for themselves, he lost. And what makes it just... He lost to a woman.
Now, I only have one statement to say to this. I'll let Theas take over after that. God, that was a stupid statement. You do not have the GPA equivalent to make a decision if you want to have an abortion. However, having said that, you have the GPA equivalent to raise one. This group of people actually are putting more heavily weighted on an abortion than raising a child. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You have the more educational function of raising a newborn baby to 18 than abortion. Make it make sense. As a child yourself, by the way, but make it make sense.
All right, challenge accepted. Okay.
Go for it, buddy.
Here's how it makes sense. All right, so through the cosmic ways of
Mhm.
God,
Mhm.
you were blessed with the opportunity to bring forth life.
You lost me.
That was all God's will that brought you to that particular point. Now, you having an abortion, that is a decision of man. That is man deciding that life should not be. So, God, up till conception, man, from conception to birth, God, from birth to death. See what I'm saying? While you are in the oven, you are subject to man. Now, that's how they make it make sense. Now, here's the problem though. That's why I say that a lot of these people that are out there like this, they don't believe in God and they don't trust their God. Okay? Because the same God that you saying willed for the conception to take place is the same God that willed for the event to take place, however that event came to be. Whether that was rape, incest, consensual, of age or below age, all of that, God's will worked all that through. So what happens that the woman's stomach somehow becomes a force field that God can't somehow penetrate. So you got to work for God in this little window of time. And then after that, you'll trust God again. Because if you can't feed the child, well, I guess you just weren't blessed. If you don't have enough education or opportunity, I guess you just weren't blessed. You should pray harder, right? So that's where you end up with these weird, they create things and then they just hang it on God. They blame him for whatever you want to blame him for, and then give him credit for whatever you want to give him credit for. But at the end of the day, it's really about the birth rates are declining and we need more children. And we really don't want brown people coming across the border to help with our population situation because that would shift the weight of power. And so let's just try to get more babies. That's what it comes down to. Let's get some more babies.
I really,
but politically, that's what it
really
comes down
wish
to.
I would have fell
Socially,
asleep
it's
during all
bigger than
that, but I didn't.
Huh?
I said a part of me really wish I would have fell asleep during all that, but I didn't. So,
dude, that's rude.
Yeah, I know. I don't care no more. More recently, a Florida judge denied a 16-year-old orphan an abortion because she was too immature to make the decision. She was mature enough to carry, deliver, raise a child with no.
Because that part
That's what I said, Becky.
is the natural order. They would take you back to be like, well, cavemen didn't have educations and they raised children. Not today.
I'm going to fall asleep, but I want to thank Theas and Theas for the insight. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Marlon, hope you enjoy your Clash of the Council. Thank you,
night.
Parker. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Job, no high school. Oh, it don't matter. Don't matter.
Yep. Raise that baby on $10 an hour with no benefits.
Abortion is killing. I'll make that the awful decision if I think it's better for my child to be dead.
I mean, slaves made that decision many times. Unfortunately, we don't know the numbers because it'll never be told, but countless women have had to make that decision many, many times. Up to this day.
Yeah.
So whether you end a fetus's existence or you end an infant's existence, I guess that's the distinction. Is that where we at?
I've said that many of the times. I'm not in a position to sit there and tell a woman what she can and can't do with her body. My disagreement is I would hope you will find a different route for not having an abortion. However, I'm also in the position to say whatever your decision is, don't affect me. It just doesn't. Whether you keep it, whether you don't keep it, and everything else. And again, y'all know I hate hypocrisy. And we're in a country where you could tell somebody, oh, you're going to have that child. Now, I'm going to make sure that I go out of my way to cut every program to help you raise that child. And that's what's like.
That's the lie.
That's the creepiness of your party is like, I'm going to make you have that child, and then on the same path.
That's the problem. That's the problem. I've pointed that out to a couple people who try to come at me with that particular conservative positioning. And I'm like, look, I don't agree with you demanding that a woman carry a child to term. I don't agree with that. Okay. Now, am I a supporter of abortion itself? No. But I don't agree with someone else just making the decision for them, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and this isn't an optimal situation, but let's just say if you're going to be, at least be consistent. So if you're saying that the reason that you don't want abortions to be an option is because of your religious beliefs, those same religious beliefs would have told you to make sure that you create a stronger environment for the child, right? As a community, right? The community has an interest in her pregnancy, so the community should also have an interest in that child. So the fact that you didn't do any of the stuff before, right? Because like I say, well, Roe v. Wade was not properly decided. That's the words they use. It was not properly decided. So we were correcting a bad law. Okay. Why didn't you, before you did that, make sure that foster care was better taken care of, adoptive care was better taken care of, education was better taken care of, medical care is better taken care of? Why didn't you lay the foundations for all the things that your faith says you're supposed to do too, and then got rid of abortion? Why didn't you do the first part first and then the second part? It's the same reason when you fought against the Affordable Care Act and wanted to get rid of it, but you didn't want to put a new plan in place. It's because that was never what you were about to begin with.
And the funny thing about it is, if you your faith is based on taking care of others.
It's supposed to be.
I at the fundamental bottom line, however you want to put it, your faith is based on taking care of others. And you don't. I don't have a cute statement for that. You don't. You just you don't. Your faith and your mentality are colliding with each other, and your mentality is winning. But your decision making to cover your ass, for a better term, is to use your faith.
Yeah.
You don't want to take care of others.
Nope.
You want to use your faith to control others by using your faith as a jumping point.
You rather command than convince.
You rather command into love.
No, I'm just saying, like, take love off of it, because like the basis of your faith is supposed to be love, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like the basis, right? But then we can debate what love looks like. There's tough love, and then there's like, but whatever, if you truly believe, whatever it is you believe, I don't care what your belief system is, right? Structured, unstructured, whatever. I'm sitting here. Yeah, my heart goes out to Susan.
And I understand what you're saying, Susan, but this is the bottom line of it is, God, I don't want to say it like this because it sounds like I'm being an a-hole when I say it. I would never take that decision from you. Do I want it to happen? Absolutely not. But I would never take that decision from you to make that decision that you make. And that's the tough choice that some people don't want to make. Their choice is you're going to have it. That's it. No, with the we're not talking about
Yeah,
we're not talking about.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. We made the decision. We made the decision.
Yeah. I know it's tough out there. It's always tough out there as you on your yacht. I don't want to talk about that.
Well, you got broke folks saying the same thing, dog.
Yeah.
Ideology.
I can't take that decision from you because physically, mentally, and mentally, I can't even say emotionally. Physically and mentally, it doesn't affect me. It just doesn't.
But, because now I'm channeling myself in my early years, right? It very much affected me. That's why, I mean, now granted, I lived my life a little different than a lot of people, but I took very serious from the time I was probably 10 or 11 years old that what it is to be a father and what it is to be a husband, right? So my bloodline, even before I understood what it meant, I had been taught by my father how important children are. I had been shown by my father how much children were. When I get sick as a kid, who took care of me? My dad. You know what I'm saying? That's why with my kids now, through their whole lives, if they get sick, I'm the first one to take time off. I'm the one that's there from dark morning to dark night, checking fevers, medicine, doctor's visits. I'm all of that. So that's the example that was set for me. Okay. So when it came time that I had gotten my then girlfriend pregnant, I was 100% 10 toes in. So if you were to tell me, and I remember we used to have arguments every once in a while where it would come across like the child is more yours than mine. And I'm like, nah, I didn't decide that you're the one that gets to carry the baby. You can't tell me that my love for my child is less than yours. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? No. So that is real. But my point still comes back to ultimately, she's the one that has to go through all this physically, right? Take all the choices off the table. Even if she wanted for me to carry the child, she can't do it. Even if I wanted to, which I wouldn't, but even if I wanted to, I can't do it. So the fact is that level of power just has to sit there. It has to sit there, all right? It has to sit there for her. Where we also need to do some things though while we're talking about this, which we're not having a discussion of, are what is the man's rights? So far, everything I've heard basically makes our rights zero. Right? So if you want to make this real, if you really, really want to have this conversation, then men, you don't get to tell a woman whether or not she has a child.
Nope.
Your decision ended when you planted that seed. When you relinquished custody of your genetics to her, she now owns that seed. Now, when the baby comes in, y'all can start talking about other stuff. But you lost that. But here's my thing, though, because we have to have this conversation, or else we're always going to have men and women at each other's throats. You got to define our rights. Because what if I do get her pregnant? I don't want to have the child. She does want to have the child. You'll tell me, suck it up. You got her pregnant. It's her decision. But what if I want to have the child and she doesn't want to have the child? You still tell me, suck it up. It's her decision. So my thing is, if you really want to be fair about this, if he says, I do not want to have this child, and she says, too bad, I want to have this child, why is there not a process to let him separate himself from it? Doesn't exist. So if you really want to be fair, if you want to give her all the authority and all the rights, which I'm personally okay with, you got to give him his rights too. His rights should be either to be there or not be there. But you're not going to do that because at the end of the day, you feel like when the baby gets here, it needs support. But he may not even be able to support that child. They both made a decision that they weren't ready for. And now the child's here. He ain't got no good job. He just as jacked up as she is. So you're going to destroy him? You're going to destroy him now? We need to have a stronger safety net that is focused on the investment in raising our children. The parents should be almost irrelevant. As Americans, we should sow into our children. And we should say that baby, rich, poor, or in between, gets this level of a playing ground. It's there. It's there. Like straight up and down. It's there. $2,000 a month. America sends money to you for having that baby. And that's what we do because that baby ultimately is going to contribute to our society. And then that way you can cut out all that BS and she ain't got to worry about fighting him over child support. And you ain't got to force him to be there with you. If he's going to be there with you, he'll be there because that's the kind of man he is. Okay, that's me.
One of the worst things I've ever heard from my former husband was that it was my body and my decision. Although he was the father of the child, I felt abandoned.
But what else could he say? I agree with you. I would never say that to my
funny thing about it is I agree with that, Susan. The funny thing about it was it is. And I don't want you to get it twisted because I'm going to say from my point of view, not his, my point of view. I don't know his heart. I don't know his soul. I would not have anything that I could say because I'm not carrying anything for 9 months. I'm just not. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to have morning sickness. I'm not going to carry something that's 7 pounds, 8 pounds, 9 pounds, whatever you want to say, in my belly, regardless of anywhere that I go. I'm not even going to go into details about delivery of that child.
Oh yeah, no, you got to cut that out. You're going to have to cut me open, bro. But what I was going to say is there's the art and the science, and please, Susan, correct me if I'm misconstruing this. The science of it is, let's look at the reality of the situation. Reality of the situation is everything Marlon just said and a lot of things that I was saying. It's up to you. I can help you to the extent that you'll allow me to go through this process, but on the science of it, it's up to you. At the end of the day, I can say whatever I want to say, and whatever you say, ultimately, that's what's going to be. But then there's the art. And this is what I was trying to touch on in my own crazy haphazard way. The art of it is it is your ultimate decision, but no matter what, I'm in it with you. Whether you have the baby, I'm with you. Whether you don't have the baby, I'm with you. Like, because once the baby is born, that level of assistance is needed. Even if you and I aren't together, I'm with you, right? And then if you have the abortion, I'm still with you. Even though we're not together and we're walking different paths, that part of our story, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Those dark nights when you were alone and stressed out and all of that, to the extent that I can be there, I'm with you. That's the kind of commitment that is the art, you know? But I think that part, I don't know. I don't know if that part's even being taught anymore. So.
Show this last video. We are late. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that is our show for tonight. If y'all don't get anything out of Friday Night Guys, I don't know what you're looking for. I may be biased, but the show is on fire. It just really is. Diaz, tell everybody where they can find you.
ComplexSimpleman.com. Please come support Patreon, because even if we don't do the heaters this winter, which I really don't think was a smart idea on my part, because like I said, when Marlon kind of dipped out on us, I really need your support. I really want to take care of at least 2 schools next year. We did one in great fashion this year, so I really would love to do 2.
Please go to Tracy's Patreon page. Please do not forget that tomorrow, today, but tomorrow, because I'm not going to sit there and play that semantics crap. Saturday is Tracy's Scavenger Hunt. Please do not forget to tune into that. That should be kind of fun and everything else. Please do not forget to support Diaz for all of his causes. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, Borrelia, etc., for all of her causes. Please do not forget to go to Patreon.com/Radical Truth to Power. And I have nothing left. I have given my all for this show. I hope I have more for tomorrow. And yes, there are videos that I have not shown, simply because Diaz would shut up and he just.
Well, look, man, I done told you.
Because
I'd rather talk to you.
That was his issue.
I'd rather talk to you than watch videos. I done told you that.
He just keeps talking and talking and talking, and he will not stop. And I tried to stop him, but he won't stop. So we have political stuff tomorrow because that's how Diaz is, and he don't want nobody else to talk but him, and that's how it is. And the only thing that keep that man on the show is because I love him. But if I didn't love him, I would have got rid of him, even though I don't pay him. So it's not like he's really employed with the show, but he's not show. And by the way, I'm just going to ignore the fact that he's wearing a T-shirt with a corporate evil corporate company. I'm trying to hide it now. You've been on the show all day. That was beautiful. Both of y'all are fathers indeed. I appreciate it. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate it. It's 6 a.m. where you're at. Oh, God. Not all sleep well. I'm already halfway there. That's what we do. We bore y'all to death so y'all can go to bed. Because that's what we do. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. I appreciate everybody that came out tonight. We will see you tomorrow for Saturday Night Vibe. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.